Sorry, Prabhuji, just 1 minute technical thing. I should have done this before you came, but I was like, just been running around. Yeah. Okay. Hare Krishna. So, okay. So I'm going to share screen. Yeah. Om Ajnantimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurum Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Kadaditva Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sritam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhamritamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha It's okay. Munebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhiraye Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namah Pankajanabhaya Namah Pankajamaline Namah Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangre Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvishe Namaha Namo Brahmanyaya Devaya Gau Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastyatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Kum karoti vachalam pangam langayate girimit kripahatamam vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Oma Pavitro va Sarvavastham Gatopi va Yat Smaret Pundarikaksham Sabhyabhyabhyantaram Suche Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji, thank you all for coming. I hope you are comfortably seated. If anybody of you have any back pain, please take one of these chairs. Feel free to sit there. We all belong to Kali Yuga and we are in software industry, so it's absolutely understandable. No need to feel embarrassed. Right now, I'm also using back support. The back is completely gone. So, and I'm also very, very grateful that all of you have come to our little home. Like I said last time, without devotees coming, our home is like a snake hole. But when devotees come, it becomes a temple, right? And Krishna is fed up of seeing my face. But when he sees all your faces, he is happy. And I always see every Sunday, he looks very happy, right? Even Krishna is very happy, Jagannath is very happy, Radharani is happy, Nitai Gaur is happy, Lakshmi Narasimha Swami is happy. So you all please come like this and make them happy, right? That's my request. And I'm not any guru or any learned person at all. If you all have that impression, that's a misconception you're carrying. Sometimes, there is a king who sits on a throne, and sometimes a mosquito also goes and sits on the throne, right? So mosquito doesn't become a king. Same way, just because I'm sitting on something elevated platform doesn't make me any guru. I only sit like this so I can see you all, so I can know whether you're comfortable here or you need to say anything. That's the reason I'm sitting like this. And please forgive me in advance. I'm asking if I make any mistakes in my sharing any knowledge, because I'm just trying to be a servant of my guru, who is a servant of Srila Prabhupada, who is a servant of Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya, Guru Parampara Sampradaya. And all these great Vaishnava Sampradayas are the reason why we are all sitting here today and getting this knowledge. Otherwise, there is no hope, right? So, welcome all of you. Let us welcome each other with three loud, enthusiastic Hari Bols. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Yeah, as you can see, this is Bhadra Purnima coming, Bhadra Maas season. And a lot of you have already taken Bhagavatam sets. Hari Bol! Congratulate each one of you. And there is also a pile of Bhagavatam sets right behind you. And today morning, I got an order from my friend in US who is sponsoring 10 Bhagavatam sets to 10 temples. So I think I still need more to get more here. So devotees are very merciful in distributing Bhagavatams. And why are we distributing Bhagavatams? What is the reason we distribute Bhagavatams? And why we should have Bhagavatam in our house? I thought this is a relevant topic for today. We can continue our Bhagavad Gita discussion. But today, if with your only permission, we can discuss a little about Bhagavatam. Is that okay? Yeah. So it motivates you to give it to others. It motivates you. It motivates you to open it in your house, because Bhagavatam is as it is. but it should not be kept as it is. Right? It should be open and it should be read. So I'm going to present you the Katha of Bhagavatam. I'll rename myself. Yeah, Katha of Bhagavatam, of why Bhagavatam came. So it is divided into three major sections, right? First, we'll discover Advent of Bhagavatam, why Bhagavatam came. And second, we'll discuss in brief what is there inside Bhagavatam, glimpse, like a high level picture. And then glories of Bhagavatam. What is the greatness of Bhagavatam as compared to many other scriptures? Why Bhagavatam? Why not Shiv Puran? Why not Vishnu Puran? Why not Kuma Puran? Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? So there are so many why nots, right? And Prabhuji already have Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is the sar of everything. Why do we need Bhagavatam? Right? So many questions everybody has. So we'll try to answer these questions, and please feel free to ask. Right? We will discuss the advent of Bhagavatam in 5 different tracks. So all the children today, please be attentive because today is only storytelling, no philosophy. For a change, right? So you all will enjoy today. And we also can become children. All the adult scale can become children. Ultimately, we are all children of Krishna, right? Aham bija pradapita. So Krishna is the father of everybody. So first track is about who is Parikshit Maharaj. We'll try to know that. And why Parikshit Maharaj went to, went to the banks of Yamuna. And then how and why Srimad-Bhagavatam descended on the earth. Who is Sukadev Goswami? And what are the questions of Parikshit Maharaj? We'll try to understand that. Yeah, we'll try to understand that, right? So in 5 different tracks, all the 5 tracks, when they come at one place, then we understand the whole picture of Bhagavatam. It's more interesting than any movie. Movies say, yes, hero is coming from here, heroine is coming from there, villain is coming from there. So all together comes and the climax happens, right? So today we are going to meet like a climax with all these 5 tracks. So who is Parikshit Maharaj? How many of you know who is Parikshit Maharaj here? Yes, Param.
So he was like Abhimanyu's and Uttara's son.
Yes.
And he almost died because Ashwatthama shot a Brahmastra at Uttara's knee. But Krishna saved him, and that's why he's a bridge also.
Yeah.
Because his birth happened again.
Haribol. So Paramprabhu has told the entire Bhagavatam. Nice. So it's actually feels so proud to see, next generation still understanding the stories. A lot of people outside don't know who is Krishna. A lot of people outside don't know what is Bhagavad Gita. Right? Why was a lot of people don't know what is the difference between Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Right? I mean, that's only because we have not been passed on that knowledge. Nobody to blame. We have not been passed on. We have not studied in a Gurukul. We have not spent ample time learning these things. So that is why. So, like rightly said, Parikshit Maharaj is the son of Abhimanyu. Right? The final descendant who took over the Kuru dynasty. After the war, nobody was left except Pandavas and Parikshit Maharaj. Everybody was wiped out. Practically, except few gurus like Kripacharya and a few of Dwarka warriors like Satyaki. Everybody were wiped out. That was the gory part of the war of Mahabharata. So we'll understand what is the greatness of Parikshit Maharaj. Why Parikshit Maharaj is special in what he is, right? So number one, as we know, Parikshit Maharaj was aimed to be killed inside the womb only. Now you would have heard of murders that were happening outside, right? But this was a clear attempt to murder a small infant child who was going to take birth by Ashwatthama. Ashwatthama became very angry and he didn't know what to do. How else can he take the pratikar, the revenge of killing his father? So he went ahead and shot a Brahmastra. The problem with Ashwatthama's Brahmastra was he didn't know how to take it back. Right? So everybody getting knowledge of Brahmastra also got the knowledge of how to take back the Brahmastra. Arjuna got that knowledge. But Drona never wanted to teach his son. He realized later that his son is not worthy because his character is not good. his conscience is not good. Even though he was the son of Drona, Drona as an Acharya never compromised in terms of giving the right knowledge to the right people. Like he did not want to give knowledge to Ekalavya because Ekalavya he was going to support Magadha Jarasandha, and he belonged to a dynasty which was going to attack the good people. So he did not allow Ekalavya to take the knowledge. In fact, he took off his thumb, saying that you should not be able to use this knowledge. But unfortunately, our Tollywood, Bollywood, Bollywood, whatever woods that we have made him into a big hero. Ekalavya, the great hero, like that. Yeah, of course, he took off his finger, because his guru asked him to. But doesn't make him anyway glorifiable because he had his own intentions, wrong intentions. And who killed Ekalavya? Anybody knows? Lord Shri Krishna himself killed Ekalavya before the war. You can imagine whom Krishna kills, right? So anyway, so Ashwadhama was also not given the knowledge just like Ekalavya, full knowledge, but he learned some. So he used that Brahmastra. It came to kill Parikshit Maharaj in the womb of Uttara. And as soon as Uttara saw the Brahmastra, she did not hesitate or think twice to call the right shelter, right? Like Draupadi took a lot of time to call for Krishna. Initially, she went to, when in the Dyuta Sabha, when she was ordered to be disrobed, whom did she go to? She went to Bhishma, then to Dhritarashtra, her own uncle. And then, she went to Vidura, then Drona. Then she was looking at everybody. Come on, somebody come and save me. But then she realized there is only one savior. Rakhe Krishna Mare Koe, Mare Krishna Rakhe Koe. Ultimately, that Krishna has to save me. Then she uttered, O Keshava, O Madhava, O Govinda, please come and save me. She lifted both her hands, right? And then Krishna came. Similarly here, Uttara did not think so much time and she did not have that much time. She immediately called for Krishna. And Krishna immediately appeared as the size of a thumb inside the womb of Uttara. And immediately stopped the heat of Brahmastra to come and hit Parikshit Maharaj. But while that was happening, what was little Parikshit doing? He was looking at Krishna. Who is this beautiful person? I thought I am the only one in the womb. I thought I'm the only one inside my mother's womb. Who is this beautiful person? And he was so beautiful, Krishna. Krishna is all attractive. Akarsha iti Krishna. If there is anything attractive in this world, because there is Krishna in it. Otherwise, there cannot be attraction. Right? Whatever attraction that we see outside, understand that without Krishna in that, there cannot be any attraction. Yeah. So, Krishna was very, very attractive, and Parikshit Maharaj looked at Krishna. And as soon as Krishna saved him and he left, Parikshit Maharaj came outside and he started searching for Krishna. Parikshit, meaning somebody who is focusedly searching for something. Parikshitanga చూస్తున్నాడు, వేలాడుతున్నాడు, right? So his name also became Parikshit because he's all the time searching for Krishna, right? So he was saved by Krishna in the womb, and then his glories are mentioned in Srimad-Bhagavatam itself. Right? Parikshit was called a Rajarishi. Rajarishi means a king who consults Brahmanas and is equally as knowledgeable as Brahmanas. See, Kshatriyas generally are not as Vedic knowledge as Brahmanas. But there are some kings, the great kings, were equal in knowledge, almost equal in knowledge as a Brahmana, and they would always take advice from a Brahmana. Lord Ram took advice from his Brahmanas, Vasishta. And, Lord Shri Krishna himself, he's the supreme person who got it. And he took advice from, Uddhava, his very close friend and relative, and also from many other gurus. So this is exemplified and showed that a king should take advice from everybody. You have a question? Yeah.
Prabhuji, why did Drona give Ashwadhama that knowledge of how to bring Brahmastra?
He gave the knowledge, but while the process, he realized he should not give it completely. So already what is given is given. Right? Yeah. So Parikshit Maharaj, he was called a Rajarishi, and these days we don't see any Rajarishis. These days see only Raja, but he is not a Rishi. That's the problem. People are taking decisions without having a holistic picture of how much it will help this world. Right? Like the chief minister here took a decision that Telangana should be the highest meat supplier to the whole world. Is that a good decision to take? And just think about it. I'm not saying eating meat is bad, but just think how much violence it's going to conduct. right? What kind of a decision is that? Is that a decision that should be glorified? But he's telling in the news, coming and saying we'll be the topmost meat supplier of entire India, because he doesn't have a Rajarishi. He doesn't have any guru who is going to tell him on his face that what you're doing is wrong. And whatever, so-called sadhus who are around him are not telling him the truth, right? Today, for that matter, Prabhuji and Matajis, the only one organization on this planet which tells on your face that eating meat is tamoguna is ISKCON. You will go and see any temple, nobody will tell you. You eat what you eat, tell your Gotram, I'll do Archana. That's all they'll tell. But in ISKCON, we tell people that, please try to minimize, try to come out of it. You don't need it. It's not a mandatory thing to have. It's not something that you can not live without, isn't it? Yeah, you can live. You can have nice paneer. You can have so many koftas, curries. I'll not reveal that today's prashadam menu, but something is better, right? Right? I mean, like, it's not like you don't have food to eat, right? That's the last thing. It is allowed. It's allowed even in Vedas that a person can have meat, but there are so many conditions for that. You don't have to do. And stupidity is to people, when they go and tell that, oh, we are trying to balance the earth by eating meat. We don't want too many goats and hens to grow. I mean, that's a madness. But anyway, I'll not get into that. But Raja Rishi means somebody who follows the scripture and he tries to implement that scripture all around the world, right? So Parikshit Maharaj is called the examiner, right? With his name itself. And Kripacharya was his guru, and he ruled the whole earth planet. He ruled the entire earth planet. Now, these scriptures are telling some information which is not there in our history books, unfortunately. If I ask my own children who ruled earth, what are the names they'll get? Alexander, or they'll get some names who did not even rule 20% of the earth, right? But who will go and tell them that entire earth was actually ruled by Bharatvarsha? India was the capital of the whole planet. It was the capital, where the main emperor used to sit. And all the other places like Kandahar, which is Afghanistan today, was the place from where Shakuni came, right? Australia is the place where weapons were tested. Nobody used to live there. America was a region which was not suitable for human beings. Extreme climates and so many other things. So some people used to live, some cavemen and all. So Europe, if you go back and read who all from India, in Bhagavatam actually there are chapters which explains which king went and what country was opened. Norway was one of it is mentioned in Bhagavatam. Germany is mentioned in Bhagavatam, so there are so many things. And even now, if people actually want to know the truth, if they go and dig, they'll find Shivalingas, they'll find, Murtis of Lord Vishnu, they'll find Ganeshji Murtis all over the planet. We should be proud, Prabhuji and Matajis, that we are born in India, the capital of the whole world. But unfortunately, we are made to think that we are the useless people on the planet. Indians are the only unique people who disrespect Indians. All other country people respect themselves, right? I'm not talking a nationalistic topic here. I'm not here trying to be a patriotic person, but why not respect each other for what we are? And we have a responsibility to take this knowledge back to the world. But Prabhupada took it to the world and brought it back to India. That is the greatness of Prabhupada. Because that is the way we will learn. We will, if there is Walmart and Chandana Brothers, will go to Walmart. Because that is our mind. Right? We think that Walmart manufactures and Chandana Brothers doesn't manufacture. Right? You will be surprised to know Walmart doesn't even manufacture a single pin. They are just a brand. Right? But Chandana Brothers actually has its own, mills. But anyways, that the Western culture is in our veins, even though we say that we are independent. It's still running in our blood here and there. So we should be proud of what we are, and Parikshit Maharaj used to rule the whole planet. There is so much proof. It is mentioned that he used to rule Saptadvipa, 7 continents. It is mentioned when millions of years ago, Saptadvipa, the word is used, which means we had 7 continents. No Columbus had to go and tell that we had 7 continents or our textbooks, right? So everything is already mentioned. Nobody could dare to kill a helpless under the protection. The greatest of the king was, he was responsible for everything. If somebody's son dies, he can go and tell the king to resign. Huh? Prabhuji, if somebody's son dies, how can he ask the king to resign? Because the nature's law is the son should die after the father. Isn't it? Son should not die before the father. Our children should die after we die, not that they die before us. It's such a horrible. So when such things are happening, that means the kingdom is not being properly ruled. The devatas are not happy because the king's acts are not right. The devatas are not happy, and because the devatas are not happy, such things are happening. So the king can be brought down. See the greatness. We call about democracy. What is this? This is even higher than democracy, right? So in Parikshit Maharaj kingdom, nobody would suffer, and he would make sure that everybody is happy. Animals, birds, trees, plants, everything. That is why he was a great king. He ruled the world as great as a devotee under the instruction of Brahmanas, it is mentioned. These are the verse numbers also. I'm quoting the verse numbers. It's not a story told according to my whimsical thinking. It's Nana, please sit down. So Canto 1, 17th chapter and 7 also says he was a responsible king for all living beings. So that is Parikshit Maharaj. Then Parikshit Maharaj, when he started ruling, that was the time when Kali Yuga was going to start. And Kali Yuga is a time when people will lose their inclination towards serving God or reading scriptures or any such spiritual topic will not interest them. You can see that very openly. Go outside, keep a pamphlet, that spiritual class is happening, would you want to come? Nobody will come. Or he says Zumba dance is happening, will you want to come? 10 people will come. Right? Nana, please, you're obstructing my view. Yeah. Yeah. Sit down. Hare Krishna. Yeah. So because that is the nature of Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga means an environment where Kali exists, where Kalaha exists, meaning for small things people will fight. Small things people will fight. Once I was sitting in my room and doing some work, suddenly I heard two people shouting. I just went out and went from my window. I saw one person is with a small child, hardly 1 year old, and another person, he was walking. I don't know what happened. Two educated people who are living in my home, they're fighting like cats and dogs, literally holding each other's collar and punching each other. Security people came. And said, what is happening? And they took each other away. They're talking filthy language. All children from the park came this side. Now you tell me what is their education or what is their culture? This is how we fight. As it is, we can see two groups fighting outside now. Right? We are one. If you are one, why are you fighting? Yeah. Anyway, our sankalpa is to do something. Okay, do service. Why to fight? But literally, somebody was telling me. Anyways, leave the topic. So the point is this Kali Yuga. I'm not surprised. Right? We're not surprised for what we are seeing. But this is what it is. People have a tendency to fight. Husband and wife fight. Parents fight. Children and parents fight. Neighbors fight. Everybody is fighting for small little reasons. So Parikshit Maharaj saw the symptoms of Kali Yuga. Before Kali comes, Kali Purusha. Actually, everybody is a person, Prabhupada and Mataji. We think that energy is not a person. Fire is Agni Deva. Right? Varuna Deva. Everything is a person. Anger is also a person. Do you know that? Anger is also a person. When you are losing your senses, he comes and says, okay, tadastu, I am entering. Right? So everything is a person. Even Kali Purusha is a person. Right? Even Kali Yuga is a person. So he comes. Shh, Nana, please. No talking. Okay? So he comes and he wants to start the Kali Yuga. He has a clear agenda how to start Kali Yuga. So what is the first thing he does when he wants to start Kali Yuga? He starts killing cows. And second, he immediately removes all the good qualities out of Brahmanas. Brahmana means the head of the body. Right? If the body is, Kshatriyas are the arms, Vaishyas are the nerves, legs and walking and all the doing things are Shudras, head is Brahmana. So Brahmana should give right advice. The Brahmanas will become eager and inclined towards money. Right? Money is not even the criteria. Brahmana means somebody who lives completely dependent on God. You go and give Brahmana 1 lakh rupees, he'll put it in the hundi and tomorrow morning he'll beg again. Because if he has money, he will not be dependent on God. Right? If he has money, he will not be dependent on God. So you need to be dependent on. If you have too much money, why will you pray to God? Right? Your inclination, dependence on God will go down. So Brahmanas would never keep money. They would always depend on Kshatriyas to give money. Right? Or to take care of them. So what Kali Purusha does, it removes the feeling of service out of Brahmanas. And we can see today, I'm not telling bad about Brahmanas, but there are rarely any Brahmanas. Brahmanical quality is going down. We all are, we have taken birth in Brahmana family. Somebody is Trivedi, somebody Chaturvedi, but that's all nice. But then do we have the qualities of Brahmana? If we don't have qualities of Brahmana, then we are not Brahmanas. We are called Dvija Bandhus. Please repeat after me. Dvija Bandhu. Brahmana means to second birth, meaning Dvija. Dvija means second birth. But they have not taken second birth. Most of our Dvija Bandhus. It's unfortunate. And there are very few who are actually Brahmanas. There are still existing. When you call them to your home, they'll not drink tea, coffee. They'll not even eat anything in your house until the yajna is over. If your yajna is in the 7 o'clock in the evening, Brahmana would not eat since morning, because with a filled stomach you can't do any yajna. Have you seen such Brahmanas? No, I have seen. I have seen such Brahmanas, and because I have seen such Brahmanas, I have chosen to come to this society. When my Siksha Guru was doing a yajna for his son in Boston, I saw an African American Prabhuji. First time I was saying, what is this African American? His name is Mahavishnu. What kind of place am I sitting in? I didn't know anything about ISKCON. So I said, and he did not eat till evening because he had to do the yajna. After the yajna is over, he started honoring Krishna. And I was shocked. Is it so? Brahmana should not eat before the yajna is over? Absolutely not. Then there is no power in that yajna. There is no sacrifice. There is no tapasya. Brahmana means the one who does tapasya. Right? So all these things are gone. Now what we see is hodgepodge, going on here and there, and somehow you feel that you have done something, he feels that he has done something. And Brahmana today is right to pray anybody. If today, tomorrow, you keep Lord Vishnu's picture, beside that you keep Amitabh Bachchan's picture, there also he'll do Aarti. He doesn't care. You tell me whom to pray, I'll pray. Right? So Brahmana is not telling the truth. The truth has to be told. Somebody has to tell the truth. That you can't keep these pictures together. Right? You can't worship some people together. There is a clear hierarchy. But they will not mention that. If they tell that, the business will go away. Na? Dhanda band ho jayega. So somebody has to tell. So the people who tell the truth, Brahma Gyan, without any compromise, is called Brahmana. So such Brahmanas are gone. Kali Purusha removes such Brahmanas. Kali Purusha, when it is entering, it will also create a lot of bad environment. So Parikshit Maharaj, what he used to do once in a year at least, or maybe more, he would go around the world. He would go around the world, not just India, and see whether everybody is okay. And he would go and see if Kali Purusha is coming, because he knew that Kali Purusha's time has come. But Kali also has to come, na? He has to do his duty. It is the duty of Krishna given to Kali that he has to start Kali Yuga. Because all the lost and found who have not gone back to Godhead in Satya Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Treta Yuga will come to Kali Yuga. Congratulations, we are all in Kali Yuga, right? So we should know that we got the chance many times. We didn't want to go. Now we are here means we are the last benchers, right? Still struggling. But thanks to his divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada, who is giving us a direct opportunity even in Kali Yuga. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared and said, just chant the holy names and you'll go back in this Kali Yuga. It's like a lottery ticket time, right? Just by chanting Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nameva Kevalam, Kalau Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Gatiranta. So Parikshit Maharaj saw that now the Kali Purusha's, time has come. And you can see that people are beating cows. They are not taking care of cows. Nobody has any inclination of serving cows. It is not part of their life. And they're going away from agriculture. Cities are increasing, villages are decreasing. Right? City means that which takes. Village means that which gives. The more the villages, the more people to give. The more the cities, the more people to take. Pollution will increase. Artificial scarcity will be created. Is there scarcity of water? No. In cities it is. But there is no scarcity of water outside. But in cities, it is, right? So because there are so many cities, you can see that so many problems are coming. Yeah. So Parikshit Maharaj saw that, and then he saw that bull represents dharma. 3 legs of the bull were removed. 3 legs of the bull were removed, and the bull was sitting beside a cow, and both were talking to each other. The bull and cow, you can see here, only 1 leg is there. Here is a cow. They both are talking to each other. The conversation is recorded in Srimad-Bhagavatam verse by verse. What are they talking? But I'll not spend a lot of time discussing every part of it. But in essence, I'll tell, the bull was crying and the cow was asking the bull, why are you crying? Are you crying because all the legs of dharma are gone? What are the 4 legs of dharma? Tapasya, Sauchyam, Satyam, Daya. Daya, yes. Daya means no meat eating, no killing, No need of violence. Right? Daya. Tapasya means to do austerity. To reject things even though they are feeling good, but we still reject things because they're not good for the society and yourself also. And Satya means to always speak the truth, never get into gambling acts. Because gambling triggers the tendency of telling lies. And Saucha means to maintain cleanliness inside and outside, no illicit sex. So all these things are there, 4 legs of Dharma. By the time Kali Yuga started, 3 legs were gone. The only leg that was remaining was Satyam, meaning people are supposed to be truthful. But now we can see for every little thing, there is agreement signed even between son and father, right? That this flat belongs to me. You're not going to give it to somebody else. It is that situation today. Nobody is right to believe anybody today, right? So Satyam also is gone. So that one leg on which bull was standing was Satyam. And the cow was saying, are you crying because your 3 legs are gone? Or are you crying because Krishna is gone? Or are you crying that I will not be taken care? We will not be taken care. We will be killed after we stop giving them milk. We'll be killed after we are not of any use. Are you crying for these reasons? Like that, there is a conversation. So Mother of the Earth in the form of a cow replied, so Mother is replying, cow is replying, oh Dharma, she's telling the bull, you were also maintained on your 4 legs by the mercy of Lord Krishna, the reservoir of all good qualities. So that happiness spread throughout the universe. Lord Krishna has now concluded his performance of transcendental pastimes upon the earth. And in his absence, the age of Kali has spread its influence everywhere. It is because of that I am very aggrieved. So cow is also telling that I am also crying because Krishna is gone. When Krishna left, Mother Ganga said, I am going to leave. It is there in Garga Samhita, right? This conversation. And please listen attentively. Then Mother Ganga said, I am also leaving Krishna. And Krishna told, no, you are here to purify people. You have to remove the sins of people. But Mother Ganga said, Krishna, please don't put me in the situation that people will treat me like a garbage, like a dustbin. They'll come and put all their sins in me and I'm supposed to clean them. I don't have the capacity to take the sins of so many people. Because that's what happens. Ganga san kyun karte? Paap nikalo, Papa Nashani Ganga. Paap nikalne ke liye Ganga ko use karte. Literally, like a dustbin. Put all your sin into it, so Ganga will take care of it. That's not the right consciousness when we go and, go to Ganga. So Lord Krishna told the answer, it's there recorded in Garga Samhita, that, hey Ganga, you stay. After 5,000 years, my Senapati devotee will come. And he will create devotees all throughout the planet who will come and wash their feet in you and you will become purified. Can you imagine? A devotee is more purer than Ganga. A Vaishnava is more purer than Ganga. That Vaishnava purifies Ganga also. And that Senapati devotee who is predicted even in the scriptures and in many other places is A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He exactly did what was mentioned. So these great acharyas like Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, they are predicted in the scriptures, including Srila Prabhupada. They don't appear just like that, or they don't suddenly emerge. If you read scriptural knowledge, will know that. Now here Parikshit Maharaj, he saw the Kali and he started. There is a long conversation, but I'll put it in simple words. So what happened is he caught hold of Kali Purusha. Just imagine the greatness, the strength of a king, that he could actually catch hold of Kali Purusha, the one who is going to start Kali Yuga, and he said, you cannot live here. And Kali Yuga Purusha, he said, Bhaiya, I have come here to do service. Kahin to mujhe jagah do. You have to give some flat where I can live. You can't tell me that I have to go. I have to live. Kali Yuga has to start. Then he said, you can live in a place where meat is eaten, where people gamble, where there is no tapasya, where there is illicit sex. You can go and live there. Kali Purusha said, this is ghor anyaya. You are telling me to live and you are not giving me a place to live. When you are the king, none of these exist. So where should I go and live? When you are the king on the planet, none of these 4 things exist. And you are saying you can live there. Then Parikshit Maharaj said, okay, you can live in gold. Wherever there is gold, you can go and live. Right? Money is where Kali Purusha lives. So, brothers and Mataji, we are very happily talking and nicely. associating in satsang, but never bring
Hare
money in
Krishna,
between.
Hare Ram,
Or even if money comes, be very careful with that. Very careful with that. So that is where Kali pushes us. Even if you take donations, accept donations, like I do go say, I'm very, very scared sometimes. Because money is where expectations flow, money is where judgments start, money is where all the thought process comes from. We should be very careful. Money is given by Lakshmi Devi in service of Narayan. Just you should put it there, but never get into monetary transactions, especially between devotees. So Parikshit Maharaj told, you can go and live in the gold, right? So this whole conversation that you see on the screen is for that. I'll share this presentation, you can go through. Now the second track. So you know who is Parikshit Maharaj, right? Second track. Why did Parikshit Maharaj go to the banks of Yamuna? So he went to the banks of Yamuna because once Parikshit Maharaj, while he was doing, the kind of, he was going around and he was also checking on the forest at that time, he became very thirsty. Now, this is a transcendental Leela actually. Sometimes we don't know why some devotees behave in a certain way because Krishna wants them to behave in a certain way for a higher reason. So he became very thirsty and he went to this ashram of a Rishi Muni, right? Samika Rishi, his ashram. And in that ashram, Samika Rishi was doing tapasya and he was remembering the lotus feet of Krishna. He was completely meditating on that. He was so much in tapasya that he didn't hear the king coming to his ashram. Right? He didn't hear. So then Parikshit Maharaj called, I need water. No, actually, Tapasvis also, they should take care of the rishis. Sorry, they should take care of the king. Because king is the one who is taking care of the whole planet. Even though Brahmanas are higher than king, but Brahmanas are always respectful to the king. Right? So it is a duty of that rishi to actually give water, but he did not give. But at that time, again, Lord Krishna, he made Parikshit Maharaj do something that he would never do. And there is Kali Purusha also who did it. Why? Because he was wearing a golden helmet. Right? He was wearing a golden helmet. And Kali sits in gold. And through that gold, he affected his consciousness. And what did he do? He took a dead snake and he put it on the neck of Shamika Rishi. Because you have not given me water, I'm insulting you by putting the dead snake on your neck. And as soon as that was done, the news went out. Right? He put the dead snake. As you can see there, immediately his son, Shringi, who was just hardly 6-year-old boy, he was playing with his friends. And as soon as he came home, he saw that his father has a dead snake on the neck. He immediately got angry and he found out that Parikshit Maharaj had come to the ashram, while he was not there. Immediately he cursed Parikshit Maharaj. He cursed Parikshit Maharaj, that very snake dead snake's body that you put, that snake will come and it will kill you in 7 days. Like that, he cursed, right? And the news went faster and faster to Parikshit Maharaj that you have been cursed, Maharaj. You have put the snake on the neck of Shramika Rishi and his son Shringi has cursed you. Prabhuji and Mataji, just imagine the power of a Brahmana child. 7-year-old child told and is going to come true. That is the power of a Brahmana. I mean, so some people curse, right? But don't worry. These days, if anybody curses, it will not come true because there is no purity. Right? But in those days, even a 7-year-old boy, 5-year-old boy, Brahmana's son had that purity. Right? But we should always be careful about not getting cursed, especially women. Even today, never torture a woman, never abuse a woman. That if she curses, it will come true. Especially a woman who is chaste woman to her husband, chaste woman to her family. Should be very careful. Even Lord Krishna exemplified by giving that power to one more woman. Who was that? Gandhari. Right? He made her curse come true. In terms of his kingdom going down. Yeah. So that is the greatness of chaste woman. So we should be very careful on that. Of course, finding chaste woman also is a big search today. It's not that easy. Everybody is affected by Kali. But we should be always respectful to anyone. So the point is we should be respectful to everyone. So that anybody's curse, it can come. It actually works. When somebody is really put into pain, we should never put anybody in that situation. So here this Brahmana's son, he cursed Parikshit Maharaj. And Parikshit Maharaj was a great Raja Rishi. He could even have the power to reverse the curse. He had the power to reverse the curse. He would simply say, I don't accept this curse, I can reverse it. But he did not reverse the curse. He accepted the curse. Because Parikshit Maharaj understood that everything that happens to him in his life is sanctioned by Krishna. is sanctioned by Krishna. That is a great consciousness of a great devotee. How many of us are ready to accept everything that happens in our life without complaint, without any question? We are not. Sincerely, we are not. But we should learn from these great kings who had accepted everything in their life. Everything reversal, even if it happens. Even the death is told, right? 7 days you're going to die. Still it was accepted, right? So, so here the reason why Parikshit Maharaj is because Srimad-Bhagavatam had to descend. That is the reason he acted like that. And of course, golden helmet he was wearing. So I already told that. So repentance of the curse. As soon as he was cursed, he immediately left the kingdom. Parikshit Maharaj did not take time to delegate powers, assign duties, allocation, role allocation, nothing. He just told his son Janmejaya, you take care of things. I'm going now. I don't want to waste a single second because now I know I'm going to die. And I'm so grateful to Krishna that he has told me when I'm going to die. Because I know when I'm going to die, now every minute becomes precious for me. I'm going to spend all this time in performing the most important activity is to understand the purpose of life. Right? The purpose of life. So he immediately told his mother Uttara that I'm going, and he left. And he sat at the banks of Yamuna. He sat there and he told all the Brahmanas and great rishis who were around him, he told, please tell me who is the best person who can give me this knowledge. Right? I'm going to ask some very important questions. Tell me who is the best person. Now, who is Parikshit Maharaj? He is not Aragara king from any kingdom here. He is emperor of the world. The news spread and it went to all 14 planetary systems. Lord Shiva heard this and he's like, now something extraordinary is going to happen. Because the king of earth planet is sitting down, like just in his small little langot that he's wearing there. And he's sitting down and is asking and for somebody to come and tell the highest knowledge. Something extraordinary is going to happen. Brahma got to know. Narada got to know. Mother Durga got to know. All the great devatas, Mukkoti devatas got to know. Something great is going to happen now. Right? At that time, we are going to discuss how and why Srimad-Bhagavatam descended to earth. Right? One more track. So first track was what? Who is Parikshit Maharaj? And second track was why Parikshit Maharaj went to the banks of Yamuna. Right? Now the third track is how and why Srimad-Bhagavatam descended. All the Vedas are written by Vyasdev. He is the one who compiled all the Vedas. Right? All the Vedas, all Puranas, Samhitas, Itihasas, right? Aranyakas, everything he compiled. But after finishing everything, he was feeling very disheartened. He was not feeling complete. Like Prabhuji, he also sometimes, some days you did all the work, but when you come home, you're not feeling complete. You're not feeling, there's something wrong you have done. Kuch to galat kiya maine. Or if you go and speak to somebody badly, after coming home, you don't feel nice that I've done something wrong. Same way Vyasdev was feeling after writing Vedas. Now, writing Vedas is not an ordinary thing. What you see in that shelf might be 1 millionth % of what Vedas are. So many Vedas were written by Vyasdev, right? Unbelievable knowledge, unfathomable knowledge. We can't even imagine what all was compiled by him. Ganeshji was writing, Vyasji was speaking, right? That is how the whole thing was documented. But at the end, he was not happy. And this is also documented in Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the whole Vedas, kind of glimpse I'm giving. So Vedavyas said in 1.4.30, scriptural reference I'm giving. Vedavyas said, I am feeling incomplete. Though I myself am fully equipped with everything required in Vedas. Now Vedas talks about how to be happy in this world also. Now if you've written Vedas and still you're not happy, there is something really wrong. Isn't it? So Vedavyas is saying, I'm not happy. Please help me. I'm not happy. At that time, he remembered his guru. And who is the guru of Vedavyas? Srimad Narad Muni. A lot of people don't know this. Vedavyas' guru is Narad Muni. Immediately, Narad Muni came. As soon as his disciple was upset, Narad Muni immediately came. And Vedavyas told Narad Muni that, Narad Muni, I've done my job. In this incarnation, whatever I'm supposed to do, I've done. I've written the Vedas, but I'm feeling very unhappy. Then what do you think Narad Muni would have done? Oh my beta, such a nice boy, you've done your work, I'm very happy with you. No. He chastised Vedavyas. Can you imagine? Vedavyas being chastised by his guru? He told, hey Vyas, what you have written? What you have written is knowledge of how to live on this world, which is anyway a useless place to live. Material world is not a place for people to live. You have written Ayurveda, Dhanurveda, all these Vedas, Veda, but what is the use of that Vedas when you have not written the purpose of the Vedas? Sarvasya chaham hridi sanniveshto matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. Vedesta sarver aham vedyo vedanta vedaviti vacha. Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita 15:15. Easy to remember. 15, 15, 15 or 15. He's saying, I am the purpose of the Vedas. Vedesta sarver ahameva vedyo. After reading all the books, if you're not getting inclination to worship me, then reading all that is useless. Isn't it? After educating our children, if our children don't know how to respect others, all that education is gone into drain. Whether you are educating them in Oak Ridge or Srinidhi or Aga Khan or some other pan, doesn't matter. If they don't know how to open the door and give water to somebody who comes to your house, you have created a burden on this planet. Remember that. Our education, children's education should first teach them how to be respectful to everybody. How to be nice to anybody who comes. Even a courier boy, if he comes, open the door and ask, do you want water? You can ask. That's the culture of our Bharatvarsha. That is what we should teach the whole world. And that is what is told in the Vedas, but ultimately the purpose of the Vedas is to worship Krishna. And Vedavyas told, Narad Muni told Vedavyas, you have written Mahabharata that Krishna is coming, talking to Pandavas, you have written Krishna is going, talking to Karna, Krishna is helping. Where did you write the relationship of Pandavas with Krishna? Where did you write the relationship of Kunti with Krishna? Where did you write the relationship of Bhishma with Krishna? Where did you write the relationships? Where did you write what they feel inside? How they love each other? All these Puranas that you have written, Shiv Puran, Skanda Puran, this Puran, Matsya Puran. Arey bhaiya, likha sab kuch, bhakti kidhar likha? Where do you write about bhakti? Without bhakti, what is the use of your Vedic scriptures? And Vedavyas then understood. Thank you, Gurudev. I have understood why I am not feeling happy. Because I have not worshipped. I have not taught people how to worship Krishna. Now I will write the final scripture, which is the essence of entire Vedas, which is a spotless Purana, a Paramahamsa Samhita, which only great Paramahamsas can read and relish, is the bhakti aspect, right? And Srimad-Bhagavatam was written. Srimad-Bhagavatam is the final literature which Vedavyas wrote. Prabhuji, you can sit here, back support is also there. He's on this side. Yeah. So Srimad-Bhagavatam is the final scripture that Vedavyas wrote, and then he kept the pen down. Right? The last scripture that he wrote and he kept the pen down. Ganeshji also said, okay, mera kaam ho gaya. Kept the pen down. Right? Vedavyas completed the Vedas by giving Srimad-Bhagavatam. So that is what Vedavyas is telling to write Srimad-Bhagavatam. And whatever I told is there in these verses. You can refer to that later. And Ganeshji is the one who finally transcripted it. No screen here. Give me that screen. Yeah. One place screen is not allowed, or two places is Satsang and Vaishnava Seva Kunj. Right? No screen. Now let us talk about who is Sukadeva Goswami. Now you know why Srimad-Bhagavatam came, right? You all understood? So what is the first track? Who is Parikshit Maharaj? Second track, why he came to Yamuna? Third track, why Srimad-Bhagavatam descended? And fourth track, who is Sukadeva Goswami? Now who is Sukadeva Goswami? Kahin sunai nahi inka naam. Right? Especially in South India, a lot of people don't know Sukadeva Goswami, right? Because actually the knowledge was not properly propagated. So Sukadeva Goswami is the son of Vedavyas. Now Vedavyas and his wife, when they were having this child, in the womb came Sukadeva Goswami. Sukadeva Goswami is actually a parrot of Srimati Radharani in the spiritual world. He's a parrot. And because when Srimad-Bhagavatam has to be spoken, and anything that parrot eats is sweeter. How many of you have eaten a fruit that is eaten by a parrot? Anytime? Huh? I'm telling you, it will be so nice. You should go and search for that fruit. Normally people, on the bandi ke upar kabhi half eaten fruit, ye nahi chahiye, sada hai. But if you know that it's eaten by a parrot, you should take that and eat. It will be more sweeter, Like that, Srimad-Bhagavatam, when it had to descend, Lord Krishna decided that my Radharani's parrot should go and speak that Bhagavatam. Then it will become even more sweeter. So that is the reason, Srimad-Bhagavatam came, and along with that, even Sukadeva Goswami came, and he took birth in the womb of his Vyasdev's wife. Now, while he was there in the womb, Vyasdev wrote already Bhagavatam, and he was telling his wife Bhagavatam. He was telling, see, this Leela, that Leela, everything about Bhagavatam. Now, who was listening in the womb? Sukadeva Goswami was listening. Prabhuji and Matajis, I want to tell this very, very important message, that please bring your children to Satsang, because children actually learn Bhagavatam. Not just from outside, even from inside. So I always encourage, if there is anyone pregnant in your family, ask them to come and attend Satsang. Because amount of knowledge a child hears inside the womb, he doesn't hear outside the womb. Outside the womb, what can he hear? All disturbances. This disturbance, that disturbance, screen. So many problems are there. But inside the womb, so far no iPhone is there inside the womb. So, the child can properly take the knowledge without any fees. He can simply sit there and why scriptures were given to children, to Matajis to read when they are pregnant. Right? Because when they are pregnant, when they read the womb, in the womb actually the child is. Right? And the child, even though with bad consciousness, the child is coming, from some birth he is coming, but by hearing that knowledge, he will become purified. Tell me one more person who heard everything in the womb. Prahlad. What was the mother's name? Kayadu. Kayadu. He has his friend's birthday party. So he's going there. Very well. Yeah. So, Vyasdev recited the entire Bhagavatam to his wife. Now listen. Listen. One more conversation, you will come and sit here. Okay. So, yeah, what was I saying? Yeah. So, the child heard everything in the womb. He heard the entire 12 cantos. You can see Bhagavatam in that, in that bookshelf. You can see the colorful whole set there. You can also see one colorful set below, Telugu Bhagavatam. That is in English. And you can see the boxes behind it. If it falls, don't ask me why. But I've tried to balance it nicely there. So, he heard the entire Bhagavatam and he made a decision inside the womb. The first person to make decision inside the womb was Sukadeva Goswami. Normally people make decisions after coming out of the womb. He made a decision inside the womb that, hey Krishna, if I come out, your Maya Shakti will affect me. As soon as I come out, the three modes of material nature will come on to me. Goodness, passion, ignorance. Let me make a decision. I will not come out of the womb. He told, I will not come out of the womb. Now, this is not normal, right? I mean, how can you stay inside the womb? Flat thodi hai. You have to come out. After 9 months, you are supposed to come out. 9 months is a given time for you to grow and you have to come out. He said, no, I will not come out. Then I am Gappa. Vyasdev went and told, Beta, he is my wife. Be a little considerate. Please come out. It's already 10th month now. Please come out. Said, Vyasdev, you already told everything to me about this material world. Am I a fool to come out? Right? Inside the womb, I am totally secured. No Maya Shakti is there here. I am nicely getting food from my mother. I will not come out. 1 year passed. He did not come out. 3 years passed. He did not come out. Just imagine carrying a 3-year-old boy inside the womb. 10 years passed. He did not come out. 16 years passed. He did not come out. A 16-year-old fully grown boy is in the womb of the mother and is saying, I will not come out. The whole universe is thinking, isko kya karenge abhi? Vyasdev said, mere se abhi nahi hoga. Krishna, you only have to fix the problem. So he called for Krishna. And Krishna himself came, you can see there. And he started speaking to Sukadeva Goswami. He told Sukadeva Goswami, hey, great soul that you are inside, please come outside. It's against the nature's law for you to remain inside. You have to come outside. He said, no, Krishna, I know your material energy. As soon as I come out, I will not see a soul. I'll see male and female. I'll see heat and cold. Everything is dual. I'll see every duality. I'll not see the reality. There is only heat. Lack of heat is called cold. But actually what exists is only heat. There is only one thing. Lack of it is called something else. That is called duality. Right? So there is only, one gender, but it is told into two genders. So then Lord Krishna said, see, now I have to do something that I have never done before. I am giving you a great boon. You will be the only one and the last one and the ever last one who will come in the material world, but you will not see Maya. And Maya will not affect you. You will be the only one. Now come out. Then he got his insurance policy. He said, okay, now I'll come out. Right? So Vyasdev was very happy that Krishna told this. Sukadeva Goswami came out of the womb. Just imagine a 16-year-old boy coming out of the womb, and how, when you are in water for too long, how is your skin? Very saggy and very soft, right? Like a small child's skin is so nice, right? So glowing, right? So pure. Just imagine. Just imagine a 16-year-old boy with that complexion. So beautiful. Unbelievably beautiful. Attractive. The moment you would see him, you would be like completely allured. Who is this beautiful boy who's coming out so big and amazingly beautiful? So as soon as he came out of the womb, immediately, what did he do? He did not want to go and sleep there. He did not want to go and sit and talk. He just started walking. Just imagine, he came out, door nikala, chala gaya. And immediately, Vyasdev, hey, what is this? 16 years we were waiting for you. At least baat to karo. Then Vyasdev started running behind him. Because for Sukadeva Goswami, this world is not like the world that we see. He was seeing Krishna everywhere. So he just started walking. And while he was walking, he came across this lake. And in the lake, beautiful girls were taking bath. Of course, they were not dressed. And as soon as they saw Sukadeva Goswami, all of them got up looking at Sukadeva Goswami. And Sukadeva Goswami just looked at them and he just started walking. And they were like, oh, such a beautiful man, such a beautiful boy, young boy. And they didn't realize that they were not wearing any clothes. And Sukadeva Goswami also just walked like that. And right behind him, one old fellow was running. Who is that? Vyasdev. And as soon as Vyasdev came, immediately they took the clothes and they covered themselves. Now Vyasdev said, this is too much. My young fellow, young son, he is coming in youth and you are not even wearing your clothes, you didn't even batter. I am an old person and I am coming. What do you think I will see? What do you think I should be affected with? Why are you covering yourself with clothes? Then immediately the gopis, the village girls, they told, hey Vyasdev, we know who you are. You have written the entire Vedas. But still, nobody is spared in this planet, in this material world, to not get affected with the three modes. Of course, Vedas are about three modes. What Vyasdev gave is about three modes. But you are still affected with the three modes. You are still seeing us as girls, isn't it? You came and you told, why are you not wearing your clothes or wearing your clothes? That means you're not having that vision. But your son, Sukadeva Goswami, is above the three modes. When he looked at us, we didn't feel shameful. When he looked at us, we didn't feel anyway shameful. We felt like he's looking into our soul because he's completely on a spiritual platform, right? So that incident explains how great is Sukadeva Goswami. But common people cannot understand the greatness of a sadhu, right? Please repeat this verse after me. It's there in Bhagavad Gita 2.69. Yanisa sarva bhutanam tasyam jagriti samyami yasyam jagriti bhutani sani sapashyato mune. Repeat after me. What is night for all beings is the time of awakening for the self-control. And the time of awakening for all beings is night for the introspective sage. Right? So, great people, great saints cannot be understood by common people. Their decisions also will not be understood. Actually, devotees, the way they lead their lives, I have seen some very nice devotees in my life. I could never understand their decisions. Their decision to stay in a city is not because city gives nice salary to them, or city, they have a house there. They only live because there is satsang. They have no other criteria. They take a house only with the measurements that how many people can sit in the hall. Not about how good the false ceiling is or how much the flat price is, right? How many people can sit in the hall. That is the most important thing, right? So everything they do is all inclined towards how to serve Krishna. Everything they do. Their job, their money, their family, their children, everything is about Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. But outside person cannot understand, right? They in fact sometimes ridicule the devotee. People are sentimentalists. And devotees just keep calm. Devotees sleep when they are supposed to sleep. When they are sleeping, the whole world is waken up. Sometimes I see people walking at 2 o'clock in the night. You're supposed to sleep at 2 o'clock, but you're walking at 2 o'clock. That's not a time to walk. I mean, your body is Ayurvedically tuned to sleep. You should sleep at that time, right? But unfortunately, the greed for money has put us into jobs when you're working in the night, sleeping in the day, right? Which will eventually affect our health. No Ayurveda, no medicine will cure that. We are killing ourselves whenever we are doing that, right? So anyway, so the Sukadeva Goswami also was misunderstood by many people, but the great sages understood who is Sukadeva Goswami, right? So now you know who is Sukadeva Goswami. Let's go to the final track. What were the questions of Parikshit Maharaj, right? So finally, look at the union of the perfect disciple and the perfect guru. The perfect disciple was Parikshit Maharaj because he was eager to know the truth. He was not time pass nahi karne aaya ho. He is coming with the eagerness. I want to know what is the purpose of life before I die. I have only 7 days and 7 nights, right? Eagerness. 3 qualities that are needed in a disciple. I think I told it many times before. To get the knowledge, you need 3 qualities. One, you should be eager for that knowledge. So eager that you will not get up and go from here. For example, if I say, okay, Prabhuji, I'm stopping the session today, next week. Prabhuji, kya kar rahe ho? You told you'll tell about everything on Bhagavatam. Why are you stopping in between? You cannot stop. You have to tell full. That's called eagerness. When there is such eager person in the hall, even the speaker will feel nice to tell the knowledge. अरे प्रभु जी खत्म करो ना कितना देर बोलोगे जल्दी बोलो मेरे को भी मालूम है what you are telling I already know मालूम है bro so knowledge will not go. One is eagerness, second is what, respect towards the speaker or the content that you are hearing. You should have respect. Anybody, anywhere, even in your material education, somebody is teaching yoga to you. If you are thinking ये तो ऐसे बोलता है, will you learn yoga? क्या प्रभु, can you teach yoga to somebody who doesn't respect you? You can't. It's not that we want to be respected. But if somebody doesn't have respect towards the speaker, knowledge will not pass. As simple as that. That's why, we should tell our children, respect your teachers. We should tell our children. Today, these days, nobody is respecting their teachers. Teacher is telling a class, I'm shutting off my video. Teacher is shouting, video on kar rahe baba, nahi meri marzi. Where will the knowledge go? It will not go. There is no respect. Right? We should respect. We should hear to the teacher. If your child comes and complains about your teacher, what will you do? You should tell your child, first listen to your teacher. But what are parents doing? Parent teacher meeting. मेरे बच्चे को तुम ऐसा बोलते हो? कैसे teacher है तुम? So what teacher will teach anything to the teacher, to your child who is scared of the children, isn't it? So respect to the teacher. Third one, gratitude to God that you have brought this teacher in my life. You should be grateful to God that this teacher has come in my life. I'm very, very grateful. When these 3 things are there, what is the first one? Eagerness. Second one, respect. Third one, gratitude. Eagerness, gratitude, respect. When these 3 things are there, automatically knowledge will pass. You can't stop. The knowledge it will go and pierce your heart. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti de jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshi. Krishna is telling. You will understand the tattva from the tattvadarshi. Tattva means complete knowledge. Tattvadarshi means who has the complete knowledge. When you do prashna and seva. Prashna and seva. You should ask questions. Asking question is not bad. Prabhus and Matajis, we are not asking questions. That is the reason fools and idiots are sitting today and claiming themselves as gurus. We should start asking questions. I went, I was taught to ask questions. I went to one, I don't want to name that person. He was telling some pravachan. I asked him, where is it in the scripture? And he was completely, his face became red. His disciples here and there are like, no, you should not ask questions. Guru is speaking. Are? Guru is speaking. Why can't I ask a question? If you're not asking a question, what is the point of this knowledge? Arjuna asked questions to Krishna. Parikshit Maharaj asked questions to Sukadeva Goswami. I'll tell you one of the greatest aspects of our Vedic scriptures. There is questions and answers. Every Vedic scripture. Shiv Puran, it's a conversation between 2 people. Skanda Puran, it's a conversation between 2 people. Right? All the Puranas, all the Itihasas, all the Samhitas is a conversation between 2 people. Where one person asks a question, another person answers. Quran doesn't have any conversation. Bible doesn't have any conversation. It is written. It is just written that follow this. Because it's a lifestyle scripture. It's not a scripture for higher purpose. Just a lifestyle. Lead a life like this so that you will be in Sattva Guna. That's all it is. But Vedic scriptures are a conversation. Never ever go to a guru who is hesitant to answer your questions. Even if it's the most, no question is wrong. I would put it like this. No question is wrong. Answer can be wrong. Right? My answer can be wrong. ये हो सकता है, लेकिन question wrong नहीं हो सकता. There is one person in Germany, if I'm right, Germany or France, याद नहीं आ रहा है. He went to a church. When he was a Christian, he was sitting in the church, and the priest was telling the knowledge and whatever that he was speaking from Bible. At that time, he said, everything comes from God. God is great. God is this. God is that. Then he got a question. He said, does the stool also come from God? He told like that. Stool. When we go to a toilet, what we pass is a stool. Is God? So he said, God is in everything. So he said, is God there in stool also? Immediately the priest got so angry. Get out of here. You're not supposed to sit here. What kind of nonsense is this? Get out of here. Like, I asked a question. Is God there in stool? No, you're insulting God. Get out of here. That person, he was anyway, in the borderline of whether to become a devotee or not. So he went to a bar. He was sitting there. He was nicely drinking whatever he was drinking. And he was thinking, what wrong did I do? I asked a question. People can't answer a question like that, he was thinking. Then after some time, he went in the bar, he went to the toilet and he kind of dozed off in the toilet. Nobody saw that he's in the toilet, they closed the bar. So he was inside the bar and the bar is closed. It's a true story. And then he came outside, it's in the night, mid of the night, nobody is there. What is this? I'm sitting inside. Then he was wondering, what to do. Okay, he said, let them open the bar in the morning, I'll go outside. So in the morning, when he got up, when he slept and he got up, there was a ray of light from the roof. There was some hole somewhere. The sun came out and the light beamed to one place. You can see a light beam, right? Sometimes. There was a book. There was a book. And the book name was Back to Godhead. It's the magazine written by Srila Prabhupada. That was distributed by devotees. Somebody distributed in bar also. I don't know. The book was thrown. People sometimes throw the books out. It's thrown. And he said, what is this book? And he went and saw the book. You know what was the title of the book? Is God there in stool also? That was a topic that Prabhupada wrote. And I was like, boy, what is this? That was the question I asked. And this is the question right there on the title. Let me read it. So he read it. Then he understood. When the scriptures explain, there are three energies of God. Antarangika Shakti, Bahirangika Shakti, Tatastha Shakti. Please repeat after me. Antarangika Shakti, Tatastha Shakti, Bahirangika Shakti. Internal energy, marginal energy, external energy. Internal energy means spiritual energy. Soul, our soul is spiritual energy coming from Krishna. But we are also marginal energy because we can choose to be with internal energy or external energy. We are like at the shore of a river. You can keep 1 foot in the water, you can keep 1 foot outside. You want to be where you want, either in the water or outside. So we as souls, Jiva Shakti, have that choice whether we want to go back to Krishna or we want to rot here in this world. It's absolutely our choice. And Krishna will not force us. He will keep telling us the choices. Right? And there is something called external energy. That also comes from Krishna only, which is all your matter, wood, glass, all the 5 elements, everything comes from there. Stool also is part of external energy. So is God there in the external energy? He is there. But that is the external energy. Right? Most important is the internal energy, which is where you can experience with God. He read that answer. He said, wow, what explanation. Why couldn't that person give this explanation? It's a logical explanation. Right? Everything comes from God. Yet there is something called internal. Yet there is something called external. And I'm between. I can choose to be here or there. And that person immediately went to the temple. There was a stamp, of the temple address. He went to the temple, ISKCON temple, newly opened small temple. He took Bhagavad Gita as it is. He started reading Bhagavad Gita. And today, that Prabhuji is sitting and giving Bhagavatam lectures after 50 years. Right? So you can imagine what knowledge can do. Right? These are all amazing examples of people who transformed by asking the right questions. Right? Now here, what were the questions? So Parikshit Maharaj, when he finally sat down in between those sages and he said, who is the right person? The right person came. So he asked some questions to the sages. I'll just read the translation. It is Shloka 119:14. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the controller of both the transcendental and mundane worlds, has graciously overtaken me in the form of a Brahmana's curse. Parikshit Maharaj is saying, due to my being too much attached to the family life, the Lord, in order to save me, has appeared before me in such a way that only out of fear I will detach myself from the world. He's saying that at least this way I've come out. Otherwise, I would have been sitting, and taking care of my family only. It's his humility. Actually, he's a Raja Rishi, but he's just humbly saying that I'm like that. I'm attached to my wife and family. In the next verse, he's saying, now he's asking, oh trustworthy Brahmanas, now I ask you about my immediate duty. Please, after proper deliberation, tell me of the unalloyed duty of everyone in all circumstances, and especially for those who are about to die. Now he's telling two, three things he's telling in this verse. He's saying, please don't just like that tell me an answer. Tell me an answer after proper deliberation. Please सोच के बोलो, जल्दबाजी में मत बोलो. Properly analyze and tell. Next is telling, tell me the highest duty. He's not telling whom should I worship. Is the question saying whom should I worship? No. If you see all these Puranas, Matsya Puran, Kurma Puran, Vamana Puran, all these Puranas, Shiva Puran, the first question will be how to worship Lord Shiva, how to worship Matsyadev, and the whole conversation starts. So it's very specific to an avatar and a situation. But the greatness of Bhagavatam is, it is not talking about any avatar or anything. It is just saying, what is the duty? Tell me what is the duty. Highest duty. Right? Are you seeing the difference? Yeah. And it's telling, tell me the duty of a person, especially who is about to die. Now, Prabhujis and Matajis, who is about to die here in this room? Huh? Anybody who is not about to die here? This is a child, I do not want to tell him, but all of us are going to die. How many of you, with all your knowledge and wisdom and whatever pride that you carry, can guarantee and tell me that you will go out of this house today? डरा रहा हूं क्या? Nobody can tell. Because वक्त ऐसा ही है ना? Right? The time is like that. Any time you can die. Anytime, any moment, fraction. My father's friend's son, son-in-law, my father's friend, he used to work in BHEL. His son-in-law, when I came back from US, he told my father that tell your son to invest in my own properties. Like that he told. Right? Nice young boy. He's hardly 30, 32. No, 42, sorry, 42. So he told, invest in my own property because he invested in my own jewel, he invested in my own Vihanga, and he was going to invest in my own avatar. And I don't know what. Everywhere, wherever my own starts a project, he'll invest. And he'll tell that the property value will go up. So my father told me, as soon as I came from US, you also invest. He said, okay, let me think about it. So one day he was just going in his car near Madina Guda in that area. He told his driver was driving. He told, I'm feeling like vomiting. He vomited. Next fraction, he died. At the age of 42. 3 my home apartments, 1 booked, 2 already there, 1 small child, wife. What is death? It can come anytime to anybody. We are not talking a negative topic. We are talking a practical topic. And this is a very practical literature. And the practical question also is saying, what is the duty of a person who is about to die? Who is just about to die? So we are also just about to die. So we don't know. If we should be grateful that today morning we woke up. How many have prayed? How many have a habit of praying to Krishna? As open your eyes. Okay, you've woken me up. Because unless he sanctions, we can't wake up. We can't get up. Right? We actually take it for granted. Okay, sir, I'll talk to you tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, will you be there or not? Huh? Nobody knows. We actually take it for granted. Right? We don't know. Right? So actually, a person who is spiritually conscious thanks God in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, in the night, all the time is thanking God that you're giving me some time for self-realization. Right? All this time is only for self-realization. We should give time for that. Now, he's asking, who all were there in that assembly? Now, see, Bhagavatam is saying, who all were the assembly? It's talking about Atri, Chavya, Phrigu, Parasara, Angira. I'm just reading randomly, right? And it also talks about Lord Shiva, Brahma, Durga. Everybody are sitting there. Everybody are sitting in the assembly. An arena where all the people are there. And here is Sukadeva Goswami. Here is Parikshit Maharaj. And here are the great sages. The whole assembly was sitting. And there was one person sitting in between them was Sutta Goswami. His name was Sutta Goswami. So he is the one who repeated the entire Bhagavatam next time. And that is what is documented. When this conversation happened, Sutta Goswami was clearly hearing. And he was awarded that great boon by Lord Balram. Lord Balram gave that boon to Sutta Goswami. Because his father Romarshana Sutta was killed by Balram. Once Lord Balram came to arena where Romarshana Sutta was sitting and giving a lecture. And as soon as Balramji entered, he just looked at Balramji and he continued the lecture. Who is Balram? He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the Adi Guru, Sankarshan. When he has come, you should immediately bow down. But to teach a lesson for the rest of the future, Balramji just took a blade of grass and threw it on him and he killed Romarshana Sutta. And as soon as he was killed, he was a Brahmana who was killed. And all the other Brahmanas said, "Oh, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Balramji, what you do? There is so many reasons behind that. But what you have done, you have killed a Brahmana. Now, what kind of lesson are you going to teach for the rest of the world?" He said, "Okay, I'm going to do two things. I'll do Prayashchitta just for the sake of, teaching a lesson that I will go to all holy places. And that is the reason you will not see Balram in Mahabharat war. He was going around the holy places at that very time. And he told, I'm going to award his son the great boon of remembering entire Bhagavatam and repeating it to the world." That's why Sutta Goswami had that special mercy of repeating the greatest knowledge. So Sutta Goswami is also in that arena. Yeah. So the consciousness, we just read this verse. Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevya upadekshyantate jnanam jnaninas tattva-darshinam. You should have the consciousness of a disciple. So Parikshit Maharaj sat down and asked two questions. Please repeat after me. The first question. You are the spiritual master of great saints and devotees. I am therefore begging you to show the way of perfection for all persons and especially for one who is about to die. Right? Now, this is the first quality that we should have when we are approaching a guru. We should go and beg. We should not tell, "Sir, chaptara, lecture chaptara. Sir, will you just speak like, bologe thoda baat karo na, thoda time dein, आधा घंटा बात करो." Like that. No, that's not a way to speak. Right? You should be very respectful to sadhus. You should actually fall at their feet and say, "Please tell us the knowledge." Because I'll tell you what is the greatness of a sadhu is his connection with Krishna. What is the price of a power plug? There is a power plug, with a switch and a power plug. What is its price? 100 rupees. But if you put your finger in it, it's worth death, right? I mean, it can do anything, right? With that power. A sadhu looks like a power plug, but his connection with Krishna is the most important thing. So don't value a person, looking at him as a person, especially sadhus. Never ever do that mistake. Don't ask sadhu his past and don't need to ask a sinner his future. Right? A sinner has a great future. Both patal log jayega. And never ask a sadhu his past. If a sadhu comes to your home, "अच्छा प्रभु जी कौन से स्कूल में पढ़े आप? अच्छा आपका लैंड भी वहां पे है क्या? वो विलेज, वो उसका सरपंच मेरा भाई है." That is a nonsense talk with the sadhu. साधु के पास जाओगे तो सिर्फ पैर पड़ो, पैर छुओ और कृष्ण के बारे में जानो. That is the only business you have as a sadhu. Calling a sadhu and telling, "प्रभु जी आपके अपार्टमेंट में अभी क्या रेट चल रहा है? मेरे को एक अपार्टमेंट दिलाओगे क्या?" अरे ये बात करने के लिए तो पूरा 3,000 apartment बाकी है. Why do you have to call somebody and ask apartment rates? What is the business you have? And even in the Satsang provision, Matajis, never discuss material topics. If you're coming here, there's no need. If you go outside, there are so many people. 20 old people sit in that garden talking material topics. Right? They are just waiting to die. That's all is their situation. They'll never inquire why did he take birth. One fellow will tell, "My son is in America. He's buying another apartment in my home, Tridasha." Another fellow, "My son already bought." Right? That is the topic. At the age of 70, they are speaking. What will be their next birth? Just imagine. There will be snakes and rats in those houses. Right? That is the situation of today. Whereas people should be discussing about self-realization as they increase in their age. We are fortunate we have started at this age. Right? So Parikshit Maharaj, at the peak of his age, is telling his Guru that, hey Guru, I'm begging you, please tell me the knowledge because I'm about to die. Please tell me the highest knowledge. Now please repeat after me. Please let me know what a man should hear, chant, remember, and worship. And also what he should not do. Please explain all this to me. So what a question is asked. What a general, straight question. What one should hear. मैं मरने वाला हूँ. What should I hear? किशोर कुमार songs. जिंदगी का सफर. क्या मिलेगा? कुछ नहीं मिलेगा वो सॉन्ग गा के. Right? या फिर जगजीत सिंह का भजन. क्या करोगे सुन के? सुनने को अच्छा लगता है. These all things are very nice to hear. But where is the message? What is your duty? Message किधर है? Right? Yeah, we are accustomed to hearing all these singers. Even I am a great fan of these people. But at some time, you should become serious about the important topics. Right? So, important topic he is asking, what should I chant? What should I pray? What should I chant? Whose name should I chant? Should I chant Hare Krishna or should I chant Pepsi Cola? What should I chant? Or somebody has created a mantra outside. Somebody has created some mantra. It is not there in any scriptures. Should I chant that mantra or should I chant a mantra which is there in the scripture? Which is even a small child. Right? So, and he's saying, whom to worship? Prabhujan Matajis, please understand this question. Especially Indians, whom to worship? And he's also telling, Parikshit Maharaj is telling, I'm not telling, also what I should not do, what I should not chant, what I should not hear, or what I should not worship. Unfortunately, today, people are worshipping people who are not supposed to be worshipped. They are not mentioned anywhere in the scriptures, but they are worshipping because we have worshipped कुछ मिल गया. ये worship किया तो मिल गया. ये worship किया तो अरे if you are worshipping that person and you are getting all this, other people are not worshipping him. How are they getting? Dhamak apply करो. We don't worship Krishna to get bread, butter and jam. No, we don't worship Krishna for that. We don't worship for Krishna for properties and jewelry or wealth. We worship Krishna that please take us back. Please provide love for you. Please provide some spiritual knowledge about myself. Self-realization. That is the reason you should go and approach God. Not cheap things. If finance minister, who is the finance minister? Nirmala Sitharaman. If Nirmala Sitharaman comes to your house and sits where Kameshwari Mata is sitting right now, she is sitting there. Everybody turn back and see her. Yeah, see, she is Nirmala Sitharaman there. What is the question you're going to ask her? Can you help me file my income tax return, Nirmala ji? You fool, you can go to any chartered accountant and he'll file it for you. I am the finance minister of India. I am coming and sitting and ask the right question. Do you know that finance minister of India has the right to exempt anybody's PAN number from tax forever? They have that right. You should go and ask that. My PAN number is AJCC Susu whatever. Please exempt me from tax forever. क्या जिंदगी होगा उसके बाद? Just सोचो. Right? Same thing you should ask Krishna. Don't go and ask him, मेरे को स्वर्ग भेजोगे क्या? मेरे को नरक भेजोगे क्या? मेरे को मेरे बीवी को बच्चा दे दो, मेरे को नौकरी दे दो. This is nonsense questions in front of God. Take me out of here. Take me out of this nonsense that I am in. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, Dukkha, Doshanu, Darshana. This is what you should ask God. But what are we going and asking? The Ammas, Babas and all those devatas. What are we asking? गणेश जी के पास क्या पूछ रहे हैं जाके? मैं नाचूंगी तुम देखो. What dance was happening? Oh my God. All kinds of steps and is anybody looking at Ganesh? Just imagine Ganesh's situation. He's just looking like this. मेरे साथ क्या क्या कर रहे हो? What all you are doing with me? Why did I appear? What did I do? What did I give? What you are giving me back? Okay, bhakti है, ठीक है, bhakti है, लेकिन इसमें मुक्ति नहीं है, right? कुछ तो ठीक ढंग से करो. Dancing is good. We dance in Krishna consciousness, but we dance for the pleasure of Krishna, not for. Dance करो. इसके लिए डांस नहीं करते. Right? हम डांस करते हैं कृष्ण के आनंद के लिए. Right? Unfortunately, today people are like that. They use every opportunity for wrong reasons, but still they'll get Sukriti. They'll still get Sukriti. Bhai, I was standing in the balcony. I was thinking, Ganeshji, please bless everybody. I was also saying, please, मेरे को bless कर दो. क्यों? Because Ganeshji will look at all of us and he'll say, इनका कुछ करो. इनका कुछ करो. Right? Immediately Krishna will tell, मैं देख लूँगा इन लोग. Don't worry. You have recommended, right? So I'll take care of it. So any sadhu, any devata, you should never disrespect them. But you should ask the right things. गणेश जी के पास जाके ये मत पूछो कि मेरे को पास करा दो, मेरे घर का डिस्प्यूट सेटल कर दो. नहीं, गणेश जी is giving us what? Ganesh ji has given us all those books, all the Vedas he has given. Actually, we did not get time, but Ganesh Chaturthi, we all sit and read entire Bhagavad Gita. We should have done that. He would have been so happy. Ganesh ji would come and he'll come out of the mandap, he'll come and sit here. कोई तो पढ़ रहा है जो मैं लिखा. I have written, somebody is reading. He'll be so happy, isn't it? So he asked that question, whom to worship, whom he should not worship. Next, the fortunate, please repeat. The fortunate King Parikshit, inquiring further said, O Brahmana, please describe in full detail how and where the mind has to be applied and how the conception can be fixed so that the dirty things in a person's mind can be removed. Right? How can you remove the dirty things from a mind? कैसे निकालोगे? How many people have dirty things in your mind? I can tell you one thing. If you all speak what is in your mind, we all will kill each other in 5 minutes. So many bad thoughts come to the mind. Horrible thoughts. Sometimes I feel shameful when the thought comes. कहाँ से आए this kind of thought, I don't even want to think about some person like that. Such bad thought comes. Now Parikshit Maharaj is asking, how can I remove those bad thoughts from the mind and fix my mind on Krishna? Bajahure mana Shri Nanda Nandana Abhaya Charanara Vrindare. How can I tell my man to do bhajan of that Nanda Nandana? Right? Only by chanting Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. That is the only way. Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti. Tatratipa Niyamita Smaranena Kala. Etadrishi Tavakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Midrisham Yajanin Anuraga. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, in my names, Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti. Sarva Shakti. Sab kuch maine mere naamon mein laga diya. Bhaiya chant karo. Govinda bolo. Hari bolo. Hari bol. Bolo. Hari bol. Hari bol. Hari bol. ये बोलो. ये बोलो. बोलने से क्या होगा? Very sincere students. Bring them every class. Hari bol. So, by chanting God's names, our consciousness will be changed. There is no other way. मौन रखो. मौन रखने से क्या होगा? जो कुछ भी टाइम मौन में रखे उसका पूरा फिर से वसूल होगा अगले दिन. Right? Next hour you start speaking everything. I will not speak filthy language on this day. Remaining days you will recover that whole quota. Right? I will do meditation. I'll tell you one lady in internet. Internet is such a funny place, where one lady is there. She gives spiritual classes to everybody. कोई सांप्रदाय नहीं, कुछ नहीं, खुद का बना लिया. Some amma, some babas, ammas, lot of people are there. She sits like this. She comes, there is a chair, so camera is kept like that. For 40 minutes, no movement. If I keep a speaker, आवाज आएगा. वो थोड़ा दूर में रखते ना कैमरा. No. Then she'll get up. అయిపోయిందండి ఎవరింటికి అలవాటు. ఏమొచ్చింది? What did he do by meditating? What is that useless meditation? So many meditation societies are there today. So many meditations. They are cheating people. Complete cheaters. Nothing else. Meditation on what? meditation on self. I'll tell you some English. Huh? Tell me how it is. You should meditate. You should meditate on the self, which enlivens the self's part of the transcendental feeling that actually elevates your consciousness beyond the boundaries of the escalation that we are trying to overcome, which is surpassing our consciousness. How is it? अच्छा लगा? Deep language. कुछ मालूम हुआ? कुछ सीखे इसमें से? This is what is going on. You will speak nonsense, and there are some. अरे क्या बोले गुरुजी? Comments below. Right? And some foreigner will comment. Robert Marqueza from Germany. Immediately Indian will think, अरे foreigner भी बोल रहा है, मैं भी बोल रहा हूँ. Right? Wherever foreigners will come, I also follow. So that is what is going on. Any nonsense people speak on the internet becomes a guru, famous guru, this guru, that guru. Scripture पढ़ा कहीं पे? We don't read scriptures. We understand everything. Guru है कोई? I am that guru. I am eternal guru. Sadguru. Not Sadguru, but Sadguru. There are so many Sadgurus. He himself declared as Sadguru. That's another peak of it, right? Another, Anyways. So there are so many people outside. Babas, Ammas. One woman comes every city. Aajao. Gale lag ja. And gale lagte pura sin nikal gaya. Gale lagne wali mata. Right? This mata, that mata. So much is going on. And this is exactly what Parikshit Maharaj is telling. Please save me from all of this. Tell me whom to worship, whom not to worship. Prabhuji and Matajis, it doesn't make me happy by making fun of these characters. That's not the goal of the satsang. The goal of the satsang is to utilize our little time that we have at the right place. Right? If you are going to the Bhuvara Swami temple, sitting there and looking at Bhuvara Swami and telling and speaking, you are going to the right place. Because Bhuvara Swami is mentioned in the scriptures. Varaha avatar is there. At least you know. Later you will take? Okay. It's there only, Prabhuji, if you want. Yeah, that's the Hindi one. Yeah. English, you can take the bigger one. Yeah, that one. Yeah. That is English. Prabhuji can take Prashad and... Oh, sorry, Prabhuji. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Prabhuji, about it. Yeah. Hare Krishna. You can... Yeah. Yeah, that's the English one. Oh, careful, Prabhuji. It's a little heavy. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Yeah. So we are almost closing there. Now we have finished, right? The third track. Yeah, Prabhuji. Yeah.
But why we have to ask Krishna to send to go back to Krishna from this material world? Why can't we ask walk me right, take me to right path, in every janma, so that first I will send people from here to you. Okay, at last I will come.
Yes.
Yeah, we can tell like that.
Yes.
But why first I am?
No, not first.
That is not the expectation.
No.
We are
Prabhuji.
expecting and we are asking Krishna. We are expecting something and we are asking Krishna.
Yes. That's a very good question you asked. See, Prabhuji, there are people like Acharyas, like Ramanujacharya, Srila Prabhupada. These are all great Acharyas, na? They actually are Nitya Siddhas. They are so pure devotees of Krishna that even when they come here, they don't get affected by this material world. And they are sent by Krishna actually. Krishna sends them. Go and, bring all my children back to me. So they don't come and ask that, take me first. They don't ask like that. Their job is to take everyone else. Chalo, saath milke chalte hain, I'll send it to you. When we reach that position, where we have completely purified our existence, like in the flight they say, right? First put it to yourself, then your neighbor. So we have to immunize ourselves by spiritual knowledge and purity. And then we don't need to tell that take me back. You can tell give me service. You can actually tell give me service. I'll be your representative here, sending everybody to you. Krishna will be very happy. He'll be, oh, this is even greater than telling you I want to come back. I want to come back is yeah. But at the same time, a father wants his children back. Right? Sometimes he knows the danger of this material world. This material world is a very dangerous place. Why? Because a little slippage, a little, ignorance will keep us binded here. And Krishna wants us back. And this is a jail actually. This is a correction place. Why would we want our children to be in the correction place? We'll say, you know what, come back. Ghar pe aa jao. But that is actually our home. This is also our home, provided we see Krishna here. So actually for a devotee, Prabhuji, your answer is actually for a devotee, doesn't matter whether he is in Vaikuntha or in here. It doesn't matter. Because everywhere he is with Krishna only, right? If you're doing Krishna conscious service, for example, the Satsang here is spiritual world. What happens in spiritual world? क्या होता है? यही होता है. Spiritual world में सभी लोग बैठ के कृष्ण भजन करते हैं. So we don't need to worry because we are in the spiritual world. But unfortunately, this doesn't continue after 1:30. Right? That is a problem. So we want to go to a place where satsang happens continuously. 24 hours, 365 days, all the time. So that's a good option. And we can also encourage people to come to satsang as a service. Right? But Krishna wants ultimately all of us to come back so that this, but also Krishna will send us back also. If we are so sincere, Krishna will send, okay, you go and, help these people who are struggling. So if you pray that, please Krishna, take me back, there is love in that selfishness. It is not selfishness for your enjoyment. In spiritual world, people go back for Krishna's enjoyment. What will we do when we go to spiritual world, Prabhuji? We will want to associate with Krishna. We would want to serving Krishna, being around Krishna. So actually you are going there to serve only. And in that service you will find happiness. Right? So if you are telling Krishna, Krishna, I want to come and serve you there. That is not selfish. That is more of, I want to come. But if you are telling that, yahan se le jao, wahan acha milega. That is selfishness. And such people will not be allowed also.
When happiness comes, then only that's why we are serving. If you don't, if you think like happiness is not coming, but when you service.
In service only you will find happiness.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm getting happiness, I'm doing service.
Yes.
And that is selfishness.
No. Because you are doing service, you are getting happiness. It's the other way around.
Yes.
But who is giving that happiness? Rama. The word Rama in Hare Krishna mantra is the pleasure potency of Lord who will give that happiness. Why he gives that happiness? So you can continue doing that service. We should do service even if I don't feel happy. Prabhuji, I'm just telling you as an example. I should not tell about my own example. I have seen devotees who during festival times, I know one devotee, his name is Narahari Prabhu. Right? He lives in Metpalli. He's a doctor and he is running a temple there. During festival times, Prabhuji, sometimes 3 days or 4 days, he doesn't sleep for more than 2 hours. He's not happy. You can say health per se is not happy. After the festival, he literally falls. Like some people have taken him to hospital. Till that time, he's jumping, doing everything, service. Right? Physically, he's not happy, but spiritually, he's so happy. Krishna is giving that happiness. Right? So we don't do service because we want happiness. We do service because it gives Krishna happiness. We don't do service for our happiness. We chanting of names, Prabhuji. Tell me how many here really want to chant throughout the day? I don't think anybody wants to chant. Chanting lekute iskon bota. Chanting okate నాకు నచ్చదు. Right? అందరూ అదే అంటారు. And one person was telling, Prabhuji, mantra simple rakna. Hare Krishna. What is it? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. The పెద్ద మంత్రం ఎందుకు Prabhuji? చిన్న మంత్రం పెడితే ఏమైంది? Right? People, right? Just general talk I'm just saying. Nobody likes chanting. But why do we chant? Because that gives Krishna happiness. That's the only reason we chant. So any service, Prabhuji, we should do only because it will give pleasure to Hari. Samsittir Haritoshanam. And when Krishna sees that he is doing service, then what he does? Okay, let me motivate him to do that service. He gives a little glimpse of happiness. Prabhuji, the happiness that we are experiencing doing service, which is little now, just imagine that same experience you're having 24 hours. You'll be like, boy, what kind of life is this? That is what happens to devotees, especially great sannyasi like Srila Prabhupada and so many other disciples of Prabhupada. My Guru Maharaj, once, my Guru Maharaj was literally lifted with his hands. When he was giving a lecture, he could not get up. His complete body got paralyzed. Like literally, he could not even get up. He lifted them and took him. And then while making him sit, he's saying, okay, tomorrow morning, when is the lecture? Because he needs to serve. There is one great sannyasi, his name is Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. Right? If you browse and see Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, he got a brain stroke. Half his body is completely paralyzed. He can't even speak. can't even speak, right? But still he is traveling around the world with all that pain. Oh, he can't even go to urine himself. He can't even eat. His joy is like this all the time. They kept a clip for it to stand straight. And still he's serving. Is he experiencing happiness? He is. But he's experiencing pain. Lots of pain, bro. They can't even sit. Right? Sitting like that for hours and hours and continuously giving lectures, addressing so many problems. Very painful. But still they take it up for his pleasure. So motto of service is Krishna's pleasure. Radharani's motto is Krishna's pleasure. Our motto is Radharani's pleasure. Srila Prabhupada's motto is his Guru's pleasure. My motto is my Guru's pleasure. Actually, everybody is serving everybody for their pleasure. But the amazing part is, in spiritual life, you will get the most pleasure. Because Krishna gives the servant of the servant of the servant most pleasure. No. Don't do service with that expectation. Don't do. Should never do the service thinking that I'll be happy. You're right. It should not be done like that. Never. What is that?
Then if there is no expectation, why we serve Krishna?
Because he's giving us everything. He's giving us everything. Is that not enough? Like, why do we serve our parents?
Yeah, because he's giving everything. You take right part and do your responsibilities, roles correctly. Okay, without any mistakes. That is enough. Because you are giving. So I need to make you happy. I need to chant you. I need to chant you. Why is it required?
No, Prabhuji, see, like let's take the example of parents only, right? Best example, parents are like God for us here. They are representing God. So our parents have taken care of us, and our father says, please take care of my. What happened? Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. So answering, yeah. So Prabhuji, sometimes we serve our parents because they have given everything. But do our parents expect us to serve? No, they don't expect us to serve. But they're happy when we serve, because in their old age we should serve them, right? At the same time, when we don't serve them, it's not that they go and complain the whole world that my son is not serving. They just feel it inside. Maybe I did not bring up him nicely, but he's not taking care of me. But it's our duty and gratitude for whatever they've given that we should serve, right? If you go and tell my parents that I've done my duty, I'm an joker, that's also not right. Because your duty never ends with parents. It should never end. It's an unending thing. Ahoitaki aprahiyata, meaning uninterrupted and unmotivated. Our service to our parents should be uninterrupted, meaning even night 2 o'clock also my father calls me, I have to go because he called me. It's not that, Nana, I told you right, Sunday I will spend time with you. Monday to Saturday you take care of yourself. That is also not right. So uninterrupted and unmotivated. Because you gave me this much happiness in my childhood, I'll also give you that much happiness only. That is motivated, right? So pure love means it's uninterrupted and unmotivated, and nobody tells you to do also.
Small example, like mother loves her kid, like when they feed them, and we also they first feed to the kids and they get different happiness. That just cannot be explained.
Cannot be explained, yeah. And why God asks us to chant, I'll tell you, bro. Why God asks us to chant? Because Krishna knows how to clean our consciousness. He knows. Don't think that Krishna is, like egoistic person who wants all of us to chant his name. No. Actually, do you know that in spiritual world, nobody knows that Krishna is God? In Goloka Vrindavan, Yashoda doesn't know that he's God. Nanda Maharaj doesn't know that he's God. Radharani doesn't treat him like God. In fact, his friends, जो कुश्ती करते हैं ना, they put Krishna upside down. They say, I have won. Krishna tells, okay, you have won. Actually, they have won. Nobody knows that he is God, and he doesn't want to be known as God. That is the greatness of Goloka. What is the difference between Goloka and Vaikunta? In Vaikunta, everybody knows Narayan is God. But when Narayan is in the house as Krishna, nobody knows that he is God. And Krishna doesn't want anybody to know that he is God. Because that is where he experiences the highest relationships, right? But in the material world, he knows that we have to come back to him. So he gives techniques through which we can come back to him, right? And he also sends his pure devotees in the form of devatas, right? Varuna Devata, Surya Devata, Vigna Vinashika, Ganeshji. He's sending them. Why? He's telling them, teach my children to come back to me, right? So that is the main purpose of Devata. There is a shloka, Canto, 5th chapter, 18th shloka. It says that Devata cannot be a Devata if it doesn't take people to Krishna. Direct shloka. There is no indirect interpretation also. Guru's also, his purpose is to teach us how to go back, right? And the technique is to chant his name so that our consciousness is cleansed. If I'm doing service, do I need to chant? No, you can serve, you don't need to chant. But if your Acharya is telling that chanting also helps, that means he knows better than me, right? Sometimes it's not blind belief, it's a belief based on proof that it works, right? So when I see people that they have changed, I have personally seen in my life, Prabhuji, some people who came to Satsang, though, I'm not any advanced devotee, but they came to Satsang and now they are far, 1,000 times advanced in bhakti than what I have practiced so far, right? Because you can't compare who is who in this room. Because the person sitting beside you might become the great guru. He's already a great guru, just that he's coming here to unveil all that is not needed. And so chanting process, singing process, associating process, serving process, it makes us in the right consciousness to go back to Krishna. Krishna, it's not like he'll punish us if we don't chant. No. We are punishing ourselves by not chanting, that we are remaining here, continue. Hai na? See, if you don't perform bhakti, will Krishna come and punish you? No. If Krishna doesn't come and intervene, we will continue in the cycle of karma. I did bad to you, you will do bad to me. I help you, you will help me. This cycle is called karma mimamsa philosophy, whereby there is no God in it. You do good, he'll do good. I'll do bad, he'll do bad. So that thing will keep going on. Krishna comes in between that and he says, okay, good, bad, theek hai, ghar ka paoge. When you come back home, and then bhakti starts. Then bhakti is okay. Krishna, tell me how to. Because I'm somehow feeling that I'm stuck here.
वो भी जो ब्रांड है ना
So,
उसका भी
first of all,
ऑर्थोपैडिक
service
भी
should
है
not be done
और
with
डुअल भी
selfishness.
है ऑर्थोपैडिक
And
से
it should
डुअल
never be done with an
उसका पूरा
expectation.
डिस्क्रिप्शन पढ़ो
For
ज्यादा
example,
अच्छा है
Prabhuji, just for discussion, I'm saying, every year we sell Bhagavatams, right? So many Bhagavatams.
उसका
Pile is there,
रिव्यूज में तो वो
right?
बेस्ट है
What will I get if I sell Bhagavatams? I'll not get anything, but Prabhupada will be happy. Because
अपना
Prabhupada
खाना
told,
खाओ
distribute Bhagavatams. He just
बहुत
told.
सलाइवा
And
डाला
his
है
guru,
सब
Prabhupada's guru told, Bhakti
यहाँ
Siddhanta
एक
Saraswati
बात
told,
है
if you have money, print books and distribute. That's the 3 words he told. If you have money, print books and distribute. And he took his order as life and soul, Prabhupada. And whole nights he was sitting and translating Bhagavatam. And that he is doing for his guru's pleasure only. No? That is doing it for his guru's pleasure only. So we do it for their pleasure. Don't expect any pleasure, but you get blessings. You get blessings. I don't know if I'm capable of answering your questions, but let us continue this conversation.
Only thing is, without expectation, you will expect that.
Expect.
That means something is
You will expect.
only they will.
Correct.
Without expectation, nothing.
Yeah, but there is one thing that you do without expectation, that is love. Pure love. Actually, you don't expect it. And that is not possible for us to experience it. Very difficult, Prabhuji. In material world, to do something without expectation is very difficult. But in spiritual world, they do only without expectation. It's very inconceivable. And a glimpse of that can be experienced in our mother's love. Only mother's love, you can see that glimpse, where she's just serving without an expectation. I've seen, I'm sure so many great Matajis are here. They've taken care of their children. Right? Prabhuji, I'll tell you, what a woman can do, man cannot do. I'm convinced on that. My wife, when Parth was young, I seen when both were young, and he used to suddenly cry in the night, right? And she did not have a sleep. She already doesn't have any sleep. They can't even take bath, do you know? Women, they can't even go to bath. They can't eat also. I said, मुंह में लगा रहे, बोल के, again pick that. in her place, I'll put him in some daycare. But mothers will not do that. Mothers will take so much because that love is a connection that she had by carrying him for 9 months. Right? The reciprocation of 9 months. And actually, it is told a mother should never put her child in daycare. Resign to that useless job. Kya karoga paisa leke? Right? Take care of your child. That is the most important duty. Take care of your child. Give that love to that child. Because a girl who doesn't spend enough time with her parent Manu Samhita, a girl who doesn't get the care and affection of a father will easily be infatuated to useless men. It is mentioned. And a woman and a boy who doesn't experience the breast of his mother will always pervertedly search for that breast in another woman. It is very gross knowledge that is given. The warmth of a mother is very important for children. The warmth of a father is very important for children. The hug is very important for a child. Throughout the day, care is very important for a child. Why are people becoming so perverted outside? So many abuse is happening on women. Somewhere they have not received that love. Right? It's very unfortunate. Very unfortunate that parents sending their children to daycare when they are hardly 6 months old, 8 months old, and they're going. He is working in Infosys, working in whatever company, and they are earning money. Saying, "अरे बच्चे के लिए करने ना क्या बच्चे के लिए कर रहे थे? बच्चा बोला क्या 2 flat देना बोल के? Did he tell I want a flat? He wants the hug. When the child will grow up with lot of incompleteness. It's a different topic, Prabhuji. I hate when I see this. This is a ridiculous thing that is happening on the planet. अरे किसी को काम करना है काम करने दो. Let the husband go and work. But who will fulfill the role of a mother? Who will fulfill, Baba? The daycare lady will fulfill. Will she give that warmth? Will she give that love? What is that you are giving to your child? पैसा चाहिए. कितना दोगे पैसा? कितना flat कमाओगे? But it is there. Some people. Sorry if somebody is affected by my talk, but I was very proud of my wife when she said, when we got married, she said, "I'm going to take care of the house. You take care of earning. Some justice is going to happen. I may not do justice working outside, but one person is doing justice at the home. House is a house when there is a housemaker, right? Very important. This balance is amazing, and in our society, in our culture, woman is respected more than the person who goes and works outside. Because how much she tolerates, what all she deals with, emotionally, physically, so many things. So anyway, yes, but
I have one example actually. In one of the match, I got, she want to work. Okay, then I said, okay, you work, then I will stop her. I will stay in home. Then she said that, are you really serious? Are you telling something?
Prabhuji, I mean, see, yeah, Prabhuji, there's nothing wrong in womanhood. There's nothing wrong. But somewhere you have to know that there is a role of a mother. There is a role of a father also. Right? Father also has to be there. Mother also has to be there. Then the complete upbringing of a child happens. Right? But a lot of people mistake that. I'll request that, this topic should never be spoken in public. It's being recorded also. I don't know how people will write about me or abuse me or whatever they'll do. But no need to talk because there's Kali Yuga, Prabhu. People will not understand the truth properly. They'll not take it in the right context. They'll talk about woman liberalization, womanization, this thing, that thing. Whatisation we are talking about. We are talking about love for a child. That's all we are talking about, right? Parent has to take care. Yeah, if father is in trouble, mother has to work. The Vedic scriptures don't say that mother should not work. They don't say. But they say that mother is most important. More than the father, mother is more important for children. Right? See, it's classic example. My son is 16-year-old, right? My elder son recently got dengue. My wife went to Vrindavan. I told my son, I'm there, I'm sleeping beside him. He said, I want mama only. He just told, I want my mother only. Now there is no discussion there. I told Bhaiya, wait for 2 days. He just went to Vrindavan. Poor lady, let her have some fun. This fellow is like, no, I want mama only. Then I told her, immediately she took a train. Like, literally she landed, one day you stayed there, that's all. She came back. And as soon as she came back, she is sick, this fellow is standing like, mera dengue chala gaya. So mother cannot be replaced. In the same way, our Krishna cannot be replaced. The only difference is, Prabhuji, we don't know what Krishna is doing for us. We know what mother has done for us, but we don't know what Krishna is doing for us. The day we understand that, we'll fall in love with him. Yeah. I'll just finish this, Prabhu. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, but nice questions, Prabhu. Very grateful. So, Prabhuji and Mataji, so we understood who is Parikshit Maharaj, why he went to the bank of Yamuna, who is Sukadeva Goswami, why Bhagavatam appeared, and finally, what were the questions that were asked. Right? Now, contents of Bhagavatam. No, why my picture is here? 1 minute. Yeah. So, contents of Bhagavatam in a glimpse, right? So, Bhagavatam, Prabhuji, it has got 12 cantos, right? 12 cantos. It distributed into 18 books, right? Each canto is an ocean of knowledge. Ocean. And anywhere you open, your consciousness will be cleansed, right? It has got the Narada's instructions to Vyasdev, first canto. It talks about Bhishma's prayers, it talks about Kunti's prayers, it talks about the questions between the sages and Parikshit Maharaj. All that comes in the first canto, right? Second canto, in a glimpse, right, is about the cosmic manifestation. It talks about pure devotional service in the heart, further conversation with Parikshit Maharaj and Sukadeva Goswami, the main questions. And it talks about all the incarnations of God, right? And about creation also. And third canto is a status quo. It talks about the great conversation between Mother Devahuti and Kardam Muni and their son Kapila Dev, not the cricketer Kapila Dev. So Kapila Dev is incarnation of Supreme Lord, and he spoke about the great knowledge, the knowledge about the womb that I speak, right? The children, what happens inside the womb even before birth, it is already written in the scriptures. That's all there in the third canto, right? So great scientific knowledge is there in this third canto. And Diti, the pregnancy of Diti, the battle between Hiranyaksha and Varahadev, right? So many things. I'm just going. I mean, there is no end to this. Fourth canto deals with Daksha Prajapati. And Prabhuji and Mataji, what we have seen in serials and movies, I'm sorry to tell, here this gate, we are not told things properly. We have some impressions about things. I'll not say totally misguided, maybe guided 10%, misguided 90%. Because the point is not told, right? If any woman reads the conversation between Parvati and Shiva, before Parvati went to Daksha Prajapati's place, their married life will improve like anything. Just by reading that conversation. What Lord Shiva told Parvati, don't go. And he explained, and she told, I will go. And then what actually happened after that? These all conversations are very good for our consciousness. All of these, right? And Lord Vishnu's appearance, Prithu Maharaj. How many of you know about Prithu Maharaj? One of the greatest kings. And he is a Shakti avatar of God himself. How he ruled is all mentioned. If somebody wants to learn politics also, you can learn from Bhagavatam. How to be a right politician, the right consciousness. And Puranjana's story. This story, Prabhuji and Mataji, I'll tell you. Okay, I'll tell this instance in 2 minutes. I was in a US hotel. I was traveling. And it so happened that I used to check in on Monday, check out on Thursday. But for some reason, I went into a room where I saw somebody very uncomfortable situation because the key was wrongly given. One lady was there. Don't ask me what I saw. And next week when I went, I was given the same room. I'm in that room. I know that bad thing about hotels is you sleep on a bed, you don't know what all happened on that bed. Right? Your home bed, you know. Hotel bed, you don't know. Conscience completely affected. Then I called my Siksha Guru. I told Prabhuji, my mind is totally disturbed. I'm remembering that woman, that room, that whole thing. Unfortunately, in the same room. How should I finish this night? Tell me some. He told, read Puranjana's story. He told, read Puranjan's story. He asked me, do you have Bhagavatam? I said, no, Prabhuji. He said, you should carry Bhagavatam wherever you are. I said, Prabhuji, how can I carry a dabba with me? Then I said, no. Go to vedabase.com, go to 4th canto, start reading Puranjan's story. Any attraction towards bad things will go away. Prabhuji, first time I read it, he told, you don't read purports, you don't have time. You are in an emergency situation, you just read the translation. Like I told. I read the whole translation. It took me 1.5 hours. After 1.5 hours, I just slept. Because I understood what is the material world. Right? So amazingly, helpful stories and history and creative impetus. The 5th canto, it deals with Rishabdev. Rishabdev is the actual teacher of Jains. People who claim themselves as Jains, they should be reading Rishabdev's teachings. That is where the whole Jain civilization started. But unfortunately, Jains are totally misguided. There are 2 kings who took up the knowledge later, and it went in different directions. God knows what they are. Complete impersonalism. Jainism today is I'll become God, you are God, I'm becoming God. But that is not, Vedic culture. They also say that they're Rishabdev's teachings, but none of them read Bhagavatam. I have so many friends who were Jains who became Krishna conscious devotees. They tell me all these things. Prabhuji, aapko malum nahi kya sunate. But Jains are very good people, as Jainism, in terms of ahimsa, all that, but they have misguided on the knowledge. If they read Rishabdev's teachings, we will know a lot. And Rishabdev's teaching to his 100 sons. And there is a great conversation between Maharaj Rahuguna and Jadabharata. If you want to understand spiritual life, you should learn this conversation. Who is Jadabharata? Who is Rahugana? What was Jadabharata in previous life? He was Bharat Maharaj. And what mistake he did that he became a deer in next life. Then he became another person called Jadabharata. So the whole unbelievable knowledge, the orbit of the planets. And so much science also you'll know about planetary systems. If you read Bhagavatam, you'll understand where you are. Exact Google location you'll get. Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Prashad Prabhuji. Yeah, please come back. Prashad. Sorry. We're just done in 10 minutes, thanks. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Yeah. So, prescribed duties, Canto 6, Gajendra Moksha Leela. The conversations between these great devotees, Narayana Kavaja, then Vritrasura. How many know the story of Vritrasura? Vritrasura is a demon. He's explained as a demon. But in this Bhagavatam, Vritrasura explains bhakti. It's unbelievable. How can a demon speak about bhakti? Right? I mean, the conversation between Indra and Vritrasura. Indra is telling, I cannot kill you. Vritrasura is telling, Arey, you kill me. You are supposed to kill me. Here is the Narayana Kavaja. Use this to kill me. And Indra is like, I'm not confident. He's telling, you should have confidence. This is Narayana Kavaja. You are a devotee. I'm a demon. Kill me. It's a reverse conversation about bhakti. It's an unbelievable story about Vritrasura. People should read this. Parvati's curse to Chitraketu, his past life. And 7th canto, my favorite canto, Prahalad. Entire Narsimha Leela. And Narsimha Leela, we only know little. But what do we know? What happened to Prahalad after Narsimhadev left? Hardly anybody knows. Right? What Prahalad did, how he ruled the kingdom, how he told how a married relation should be. Some chapters you just see. Prahalad, the best among the exalted devotees. Perfect society, the 4 social classes. Perfect society, the four spiritual classes. Right? Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasa. And 4 Varnas. Brahmana, Vaishya, Kshatriya, Shudra. How they should be. Behavior of a perfect person. Ideal family life. Come on. Why do we have to go for marriage counseling when we have 7th canto, 14th chapter? Right? Just sit down and read. Everything will happen. Right? So such a great, amazing literature is given on by Vyasdev. Withdrawal of a cosmic creation. Canto 8. Gajendra Moksha. And Vamana Dev. And so many. Every chapter has Mohini Murti. Right? A lot of people have so many misguiding things. Lord Shiva and Mohini Murti associated. So Ayappa took birth. Nowhere it is written. Nowhere on the planet is written. So we should have that knowledge, proper knowledge. Who is Mohini Murti? Why did she appear? And how come Lord Shiva started running behind her? What is Lord Shiva's position? What was the conversation that happened after that? A lot of people don't know Prabhupada. We should read it from the scripture. Forget about hearing in some CD or somebody talking. Why don't you pick up a scripture and read it yourself? Right? 9th canto. This is like liberation. This is just before. So, see, Bhagavatam starts from the lotus feet of Krishna and all the way goes up till his face. 9th canto is near his neck and 10th canto is his face, the lotus feet of Krishna. So, in 10th canto, so many chapters, right? 10th canto, the Samambonam about Krishna. Almost like 90 chapters, right? All Leelas of Krishna, beautifully explained. Directly by Vyasdev. This is not written by Eragara person these days. It's directly Vyasdev. 5,000 years ago, he was writing it down. That very conversation you're going to read. The purity of that. 11th canto, Uddhav Gita. Right? We know Bhagavad Gita. Uddhav Gita is actually greater than Bhagavad Gita. But it is not propagated out that much. Right? Because it deals with pure devotional service. Should read. And the conversation between Lord Shiva and the 9 Yogendras. See, a lot of people say you are Shaivite and Vaishnavite and all that. If you read this scripture, you'll understand who is Lord Shiva. And what is his relationship with Krishna. And how he is glorifying, Narayan. All these things you'll understand. Hamsa Avatar. And finally, 12th canto, the age of deterioration. The smallest canto, unfortunately. When you finish till 11th canto, reading 12th canto, you don't want Bhagavatam to finish. Because 12th canto is so thin. It's just tuck, will finish. Markandeya Rishi, this pastime is there. And finally, the symptoms of Kali Yuga. Whatever you want to read in newspaper for the next 80 years, you can read in 12th canto. It's already given. Like this chapter, the symptoms of Kali Yuga, right? 12.2. Everything newspaper news is already given. What all is going to happen next is also given. What else will happen also is given. Right? We normally Brahmangari Katha we hear, like about what will happen. This is like Brahmangari is Brahmangari Katha. This is like everything, right? And there is a whole, if you are so interested about future, you can go into Bhavishya Puran. It's even more elaborately given. But I'll say don't go there. What will you get? Better, chant holy names, become a devotee and get out of here. Right? So this is about that Leela. So Prabhupada Mataji's glories of Srimad-Bhagavatam, I gave you a brief glimpse on it. Glories, I'll tell you some amazing part. Uniqueness of Srimad-Bhagavatam as compared to other scriptures is that number one, Bhagavatam is translated in 56 languages. This is old, as of 2017 I made this presentation. Right now it is translated in more than 80 languages. 80 languages, 18,000 verses, word by word, translation, perfect. It's not a joke. I'm telling you, it's impossible to do. But greatest contribution to this planet is done. German, French, Urdu, you name it, any country. Now, another few months, it is being released in Malayalam. The whole Srimad-Bhagavatam is getting released in Malayalam. Right? Today morning, when Maharaja came, he was telling they have finished that work now. It's not easy to finish that. And 18,000 verses, 20,000 pages. Prabhuji, 20,000 pages कौन पढ़ेगा? मेरे से नहीं होगा, नहीं होगा. तुमसे नहीं होगा. You cannot read entire Bhagavatam, but if he wants, you will. Right? Don't start measuring the रोज चौथाना, इंता अवसरमा, इतना बड़ा, घर में क्या अरे इतने सारे useless things से फेंको बाहर. Keep Bhagavatam. That is the most important thing. Right? And Prabhuji, one page you can read, na? एक page तो पढ़ सकते हो भैया. So if you read one page, in how many years you'll finish Bhagavatam? 20,000 divided by 365. Maro? Anybody calculator? 20,000 divided by 365. 15 saal? 15 years you'll finish Bhagavatam. There is a hope, na? 15 saal you'll finish Bhagavatam. Okay, 2 pages, 7.5 years. 3 pages. 3 pages, already hope giving. 4 years. Right? See, you can, provided you have some inclination to do it and make it as a rule. Put a rule. Before touching my mobile phone in the morning, I'll read 1 page of Bhagavatam. Can we do that? Before touching my mobile phone, you have to touch the mobile phone. No, pagal ho jayenge. Read Bhagavatam. Read 1 page and then you touch mobile phone. You keep that rule, you finish Bhagavatam. You'll just finish Bhagavatam. Before having my dinner, every night I will finish Bhagavatam. I'll read at least 2 pages of Bhagavatam. If you don't have time in the morning, you already have your morning course, you have your cooking, you have your chanting, you have to go to office. Don't do it in the morning, no problem. Because every time we park everything in the morning. No, do it in the evening. Or you know what? My Shiksha Guru, when he read Bhagavatam, he read the entire Bhagavatam in his office. He didn't tell his boss. But you know what he used to do? He used to have a small window. He used to make that window so small. So small it will be. He'll keep scrolling in that. Anybody will come and see he's working on the code. But right there is reading Bhagavatam. He finished the entire Bhagavatam. In the office he finished. Just by going every day. It's there in vedabase.com. But I always suggest read it in the book. Don't read it online. Because you can make your notes. You can highlight some things that really touched you. Right? You can do a lot of things with Bhagavatam. So you can finish Bhagavatam very easily. Yeah, I've already given the analysis. 10 pages a week, 5 years. Okay. So, Srimad-Bhagavatam is also called Amala Puran because it deals with bhakti. That's the most important thing. Questions, very, very relevant questions to us. About Sanskrit, if any of you have learned Sanskrit in your life, the Sanskrit that is used in entire Vedas is different from the Sanskrit that is used in Bhagavatam. The words that are used in Bhagavatam are not used in many other literatures. Some unique words are there. Right? That is the greatness of Bhagavatam. Even from Sanskrit literature also, they feel amazed. What kind of Sanskrit is it? Very high. Very, very high Sanskrit that is used. Different meters. Right? So, every shloka has a meter. Actually, we sing shlokas. We don't read shlokas. Dehi nosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yavanam jara. Like that we sing everything. So, everything has a meter. What is that? Karpanya dosho pahata svabhava. Like that, there is a meter, right? But in Bhagavatam, There are so many meters that even the people who sing don't know what meter to use. There are so many different, unbelievable. And of course, Srimad-Bhagavatam is a spotless Purana. It is the most dear to the Vaishnavas because it describes the pure supreme knowledge of the Paramahamsas. Right? Actually, Bhagavatam should not be read by us. It is not. We are not qualified to read Bhagavatam. It is for Paramahamsas. Like great pure devotees read Bhagavatam. But it is our fortune that it is coming to us. It's like a jackpot that is given in our hand. Bhaiya padlo, theek ho jayega. Okay? Now I'll tell you an amazing story. One guru went to one Mataji. His name is Hanumat Preksha Maharaj in America. He went to that house and Mataji and Prabhuji are his disciples. So she was telling, I'll not send my son to school because I don't know what they'll teach in the school, Maharaj. I want to homeschool him. So what do you think I should teach? He told, okay, you will teach mathematics, all that, that's okay. That you can teach later also. Every day teach your son Srimad-Bhagavatam. That's the simple thing he told. Every day teach your son Srimad-Bhagavatam. Let him read Bhagavatam every day. From 5 years old, let him read Bhagavatam. Prabhus and Matajis, this is that Mataji, Aruddha Mataji. She is the one who taught her son Srimad Bhagavatam. Only Bhagavatam. She has 2 sons, right? And her son, Radhikaraman Prabhu, became the youngest PhD scholar from Oxford University at the age of 17, just by reading Bhagavatam. Can you imagine what Bhagavatam can do? We are thinking all those books will do something to our children. If they just read Bhagavatam with faith and, the vocabulary that Bhagavatam uses. I'll tell you, some people are struggling with English. Just every day read Bhagavatam. Your English also will improve. Amazing sentences, amazing vocabularies, conversations. Read it out loud, right? And science you'll understand, history you'll understand, values you'll develop. Such a scripture is so rare. It's not a decision that we should make whether to buy or not. It's a decision that Bhagavatam will make whether I'll come to your house or not. If somebody is saying, I don't need Bhagavatam, that means Krishna doesn't want to go. You have to beg Krishna, Krishna, please come. Please come. That is how great Bhagavatam is. We should have that conscience. We should know what is it. Right? It is Swayam Krishna walking in the book form. Right? So, Srila Prabhupada, how can we thank this Acharya for what he has given us? We cannot thank. Right? Look at this. Look at this video. Look at this video. What is he doing? 1977, October 21st. Right? He's on his deathbed, Prabhuji and Matajis. He's dying. His body is completely gone. And what is he doing there? He's translating Bhagavatam. The Bhagavatam that we are thinking to buy, one person has given his life. You see a dictation written there? Yeah, there is somebody who's kept a dictaphone. Actually, this audio is there. I can keep it. You can go on internet and see this video. From YouTube, I took it. Prabhupada, in his deathbed, look at his face. Completely gone, enunciated. Nothing left. Only bones. And still he is finishing the order of his Guru to finish Bhagavatam before he leaves. And this Bhagavatam is going to tell us absolute truth. At least as a gratitude to such Guru who has given it to us, we should take Bhagavatam and read it. Right? There is a beautiful verse in Bhagavatam of how to thank people who have given Bhagavatam. Right? This verse in 4th Canto of Bhagavatam says, please read it with me or just hear it please attentively. Last thing I'm saying. How can such persons who have rendered unlimited service by explaining the path of self-realization in relation to the Supreme Person of Godhead and whose explanations are given for our enlightenment with complete conviction of Vedic evidence be repaid except, how can we repay Prabhupada? Except by folded palms containing water for their satisfaction. That's all. You cannot repay them. You cannot do anything to repay Prabhupada. You cannot. You just have to take it as prasad and keep it. You cannot repay. But that is their contribution. They have not expected it. Like you talked about selfless service, right? This is selfless service. He just gave his life for it. Right? So, take a personal copy. We have Radhesham Prabhu who is going to gift it. I'm going to arrange that everybody who has taken. There is a spiritual, very senior person who will come and actually congratulate you. I'll arrange that meeting also very soon and donate it. If you have it, donate it. As a couple, you will benefit. As children, you will benefit. Parents will benefit. There's nothing higher than this. I don't think I need a marketing pitch to sell something with it worth 7,000 rupees. When we go to buy a mobile phone, a useless phone costs 10,000 rupees today. And Bhagavatam is an eternal scripture which is going to remain in our houses. And gift it, sponsor, right? You can gift it to a temple. Today morning, one of my friends from US has said she's gifting it to 10 temples. What can be more useful than giving Bhagavatam to temples? Because these days, what is happening in temples? Archana, Nariyal, Agarbatti. Hurry, do more than that. Sit down and read Bhagavatam. Educate people who are coming there about Bhagavatam. Every day, do one chapter of Bhagavatam to the society. And you see how much enlightenment will come in the people. Temples are supposed to do pravachan also, not only archan. Right? But that will happen only when they have Bhagavatam, right? So what we are doing first is we are giving Bhagavatams in every temple. Last year we gave to 106 or 107 temples we covered. This year we are giving it to some temples. And we are also giving to some schools, 37 government schools. In their staff rooms we are giving the Bhagavatam. That these teachers, when they have free time to sit in the staff room, go pick up a Bhagavatam book and read. At least something you will get out of it. Some values you will get which you can give to the children. Right? And we all have to do that. It's our duty. And whatever salaries that is coming in your accounts is given by Lakshmi Devi for whom? For whom? For Krishna's service, Baba. Yeah, we want to save, we want to have our money planned, but we should not hesitate for these reasons. Do your best. I'm not saying, give so much. Whatever you can do, whatever you can encourage, do it. This is the greatest gift that you can give and the highest gift that can be received. Right? Like Narendra Modi, our Prime Minister, told, गीता से बढ़ के क्या है? इससे बढ़ के कोई किसी को दे नहीं सकता, इससे बढ़ के कोई ले नहीं सकता. It's a very profound statement, and I'm proud to be under my country is under leadership who appreciates Bhagavad Gita openly, publicly. He appreciates. That's an amazing thing. I'm not a BJP follower, but I'm telling you, this is what his leadership should do. So thank you, Provision Mataji. Prashad also came. Got late a little. Sorry about it. It's 1:30. So we'll sing Narshing Arti and wrap up. Hari Om. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahlad Radhai hai. Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha. Shilatankana Kalaye. Ito Narasimha Parato Narasimha. Yato Yato Yami Tato Narasimha. Bahir Narasimha Hridaye Narasimha. Narasinghamadhim Sharanam Prapate. Avakara Kamala Marenaka Atuta Shinga Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubranga Keshavadruta Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Avakara Kamala Varinaka Adbhuta Shringa Lalita Hiranyakashipu Tanumranga Keshavadruta Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadish Hare, Jaya Jagadish Hare, Jaya Narsimha Dev, Narsimha Dev, Narsimha Dev, Jaya Narsimha Dev, Jaya Narsimha. Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. भक्त विघ्ननाश के नरसिंह देव भगवान, भक्त शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज, लक्ष्मी नरसिंह स्वामी भगवान, श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई, गौर निताय, श्री श्री राधा गोपी वल्लभ, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि बोल. Congratulate lot of devotees who have taken Bhagavatam and lot of devotees who have also donated Bhagavatam. Right, and who have been donating year on year. Is a great contribution you are doing. You are pleasing Srila Prabhupada, and when Prabhupada is pleased, automatically Krishna is pleased. Krishna will see, devotee is pleased. So, very, very grateful. Thank you very much, Rojan Mataji. There are some Bhagavatam sets there. Still, you want to take one or donate one, you can just lift from there and go. Right? So, there is English sets, there is Hindi set. See, I will tell one thing. Don't buy Bhagavatam for your parents. Don't buy Bhagavatam for your children. Buy Bhagavatam for yourself. Right? First buy Bhagavatam for yourself, read it, then buy it for others. Or buy it parallelly. But don't just do it because मेरे घर में कौन पढ़ेगा? अरे तुम पढ़ो. पढ़ो. Right? Don't buy it for somebody else. Buy it for yourself. Because Bhagavatam is a very important knowledge we should get first. You should be greedy there. Greedy for knowledge. Greed is good. But when it's for knowledge, for our self-upliftment, then we can also give it to others, right? So without any hesitation, please let me know if you need one. I think there are around 6 Telugu sets, around 5 or 6 English sets. If you already taken, that's nice. If you're not taken, you can still take. Some of you have to pick up your set also here and take it. Yeah. And we are continuing this Bhagavatam distribution till tomorrow. Tomorrow is Bhadra Purnima. You can still donate. Just send me a message and somebody will call you and tell you how to donate or take it, and we'll make sure that the Bhagavatam reaches the right places. Or if you know a temple where you want to place Bhagavatam, you can take it, just go and give it there. Right? You can donate it and or raise a donation, you can give it. Hari Bol. Actually, a few of our devotees, I'm just ending. So a few of our devotees thought we want to give Bhagavatam in the parliament. All the MPs should get one Bhagavatam. Read what is there in Dharma. Read what is there. We have a desire. I don't know when it will be fulfilled. But this time we are giving Bhagavatam to a couple of 3-4 big leaders in BJP side. Bandi Sanjay and Krishna Reddy, we are going and giving. We are giving this time. We already found. Because see, they are doing great work. Many political leaders, irrespective of political party, they are doing great work, but they should do it for Krishna. Keeping Krishna in the mind, they should do it. Then everything becomes bhakti. Right? Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for your answers. You all can get seated like this and we'll start serving prasad. Yeah. If it's possible, you all can get up and just roll these mats and keep it in the sides so that everybody can sit. Yeah. Please repeat this prasadam mantra after me. Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmane Vaishnave Swalpa Punya Vratan Rajan Viswaso Naivajayate Sharira Vidyajal